A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
The Columbia Network takes pleasure in bringing you Suspense. Suspense. Columbia's parade of outstanding thrillers, produced by William Spear and scored by Bernard Herrmann. Notable melodramas from stage and screen, fiction and radio, presented each week to bring you to the edge of your chair, to keep you in suspense. Tonight's story, by the noted American author T.S. Stribling, deals with the crime of murder on an exotic and atmospheric island, with ragged beggars who slept in a Hindu temple and awoke with gold in their pockets and a dead girl lying near them, and with a strange and mystical entrance into the life of hereafter, which was the experience of an American psychologist. For your suspenseful listening, we invite you to join us for A Passage to Benarie. In Porto, Spain, in Trinidad, at 5:30 in the morning, Mr. Henry Poggioli, an American psychologist, stirred uneasily, became conscious of a splitting headache, opened his eyes in bewilderment, and then, with a shock, saw where he was. He got up, arranged his clothing. He tried with his neat psychological mind to recapture his dream, to bottle up again the little smoking wisps that still floated about within his aching head. By 7 o'clock, he'd found his way back to the house of Mr. Lowe, his host in Port of Spain. Lowe was already about his coffee, with an interested spoon poised above the morning paper.
Ah, there you are. Good morning, Poggioli. I say, you're quiet. Didn't hear you get up at all. Have some breakfast?
Oh, thanks. I've been out for a breath of air. What's the news today?
Well, the new governor will arrive in Trinidad on the 12th, and, hello. Another native killed his wife. Tell me, Poggioli, as a psychologist, why do coolies kill their wives?
Oh, for various reasons, I imagine. Let's hear some of the facts.
Oh, I say, this is a coincidence. Really putting on a show for you, Poggioli, on your first visit to Trinidad.
How so?
Well, you remember that wedding procession you and I watched last evening down at the Hindu temple?
The temple? Oh, of course. The cream-colored little bride with the breastplates and the linked gold coins and the anklets and all the finery. Mm-hmm. And the bridegroom. What did you say his name was? Budman Lal?
Yes. Well, do you know what's happened? Budman Lal is in jail this morning, and his cream-colored little bride is dead, with her throat cut.
No. Do they think he did it?
No doubt of it. That's why he's in jail now. He always seemed like a sensible fellow, too. One of our best patrons. Which only proves my contention, Poggioli. A bridegroom of only 6 or 8 hours killing his wife without any reason at all.
Oh, there's usually some reason for murder.
Maybe. But I say, old boy, you're missing the point completely.
How?
Well, suppose you actually had gone and slept in the temple there last night. You wanted to, you know. Remember? And I said, no white man ever stays all night in a coolie temple. You remember?
Yes, I remember. You said it simply isn't done.
Well, if you had, Poggioli, I say, that would have been a pretty kettle, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm afraid I'll be mixed up in this. Both Mr. Lal and his uncle Hiradas are clients of mine. Old Hiradas has upwards of $5 million in my bank.
Hiradas? Didn't you tell me he built that temple where the murder took place?
Yes. It's what the Hindus call a temple and rest house. Hiradas gives rice and tea to any traveler who comes in for the night. It's an Indian custom to help mendicant pilgrims. A rich Indian will build a temple and rest house just as you Americans erect libraries.
Ah. What does it say there about the murder, though?
Budman Lal, nephew of the famous Mr. Hiradas, was arrested early this morning at his home for the alleged murder of his wife, whom he married yesterday. The body was found at 6 o'clock this morning in the temple where the wedding ceremony took place. The temple attendants gave the alarm. The victim's head was severed completely from her body and all her jewelry was gone. 5 coolie beggars who were asleep in the temple when the body was discovered were arrested. They all claimed ignorance of the crime, but a search of their persons revealed that each beggar had a piece of the bride's jewelry and a coin from a necklace. Budman Lal and his wife were seen to enter the temple at about 11 last night for the Hindu rite of purification. Mr. Lal, who is a prominent curio dealer, declines to say anything further.
Doesn't tell you very much, does it?
No, not much.
What do you make of those beggars?
Oh, that's simple enough. Those devils laid in wait inside the temple until the husband went out and left his wife. Then they murdered her and divided the spoil.
Ah, but she had enough bangles and geegaws to give a dozen to each man.
Yes, you're quite right, Pajoli. That's a fact.
Why should they continue sleeping in the temple after they'd killed her if they did murder her?
Well, why shouldn't they? They knew they'd be suspected, and they couldn't get off the island without capture, so they thought might as well lie down again and go back to sleep.
You may be right, Lo, but that doesn't look like the solution to me.
Well, I'm satisfied that's how it occurred.
You mean the beggars killed her?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think so. I rather fancy that the actual murderer took the girl's jewelry and went about the temple thrusting a bangle and a coin in the pockets of each of the sleeping beggars to lay a false scent.
Oh, come now. That's laying it on a bit too thick, Pajoli.
My dear Lo, that's the only possible explanation for the coins in the beggars' pockets.
I say, boy, you've had lots of experience in these things. Come along with me, and we'll go up and see Mr. Hiradas and see if we can't help his nephew.
I'll be glad to. But we'll go to the temple first. Then we'll call on Mr. Hiradas.
Well, here we are. In spite of the police guard at the door, the temple doesn't look sinister in the daylight.
Yeah, it just looks dirty. Let's go in and question the beggars. Excuse me, did any of you fellows hear noises in this temple last night?
Oh, much sleep, Side. No noise. Policeman Pancho's wake this morning makes it still here.
What's your name?
To the chance, Side.
When did you go to sleep last night?
When I ate rice and tea, Side.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember seeing Budman Lal and his wife enter this building last night?
Yes, remember, Side.
Did you see them go out?
No, Side. No one remember go out.
You were all asleep then, huh?
All asleep, Side.
Did you have any dreams during your sleep? Hear any noises?
I dream bad dreams, Side.
Huh?
When policeman punched me awake this morning, I think dream has come true.
And me, Side. Did you all have bad dreams?
Yes, all have bad dreams.
Look here, Pajoli. I don't see where this is getting us. I do think we ought to be getting on to old Hiradas' house.
No, I think we can now entirely discard the theory that the beggars murdered the girls.
On what grounds? They told you nothing except that they all had bad dreams.
That's the reason. They all had wild, fantastic dreams. That suggests that they were given some sort of opiates in their rice or tea last night. It's quite improbable that 5 ignorant coolies would have wit enough to concoct such a piece of evidence as that.
That's a fact, but I don't believe a Trinidad court would admit such evidence.
We're not looking for legal evidence. We're after some indication of the real criminal. Now I suggest that we get onto the house of Hiradas.
Please come in, gentlemen. I've been expecting you. Please be seated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A most mysterious murder, and the life of my poor nephew will depend upon your exertions, gentlemen. Tell me, what do you think of the beggars that were found in the temple with the bangles and coins?
Well, I'm afraid my judgment of the beggars will disappoint you, Mr. Hyradas.
Huh?
My theory is that they're innocent of the crime.
Really? Why do you say that?
Because they told me of dreams they had. And all their dreams were very nearly identical.
You are not English, sir. No Englishman would have thought of that.
No, I'm American with a backlash sprinkling of Italian. My name's Fagioli.
What is your profession, Mr. Fagioli? You are a detective?
No, Mr. Das. I'm a psychologist.
Oh, your soul is at least groping after knowledge. However, it gropes as a blind worm, Mr. Fagioli, and we must find the criminal who committed this crime, and thus restore my nephew Boodman Lau to liberty. You can imagine what a blow this has been to me after I arranged this marriage for my nephew.
You did? Arranged a marriage for a nephew who was in his 30s?
Yes, Mr. Fagioli. I wanted him to avoid the pitfalls into which I fell. He was unmarried, and he'd already begun to add dollars to dollars. I did the same thing. And now, look at me. An empty old man in a foreign land. What good is this house where men of my own kind can't come and sit with me, when I have no grandchildren to romp and play? No. I've piled up dollars and pounds. I've eaten the world, Mr. Fagioli, and found it bitter. Now here I am, an outcast.
And why don't you go back to India, Mr. Hyradas?
Why, Mr. Fagioli, my mind is half English. If I should return to Benarie, I'd walk about thinking what the temples cost. How much was the value of the stone set in the eye of Krishna's image? If I would ever be one with my own people again, Mr. Fagioli, I must leave this Western mind and body here in Trinidad.
That's very interesting and moving, but we were discussing your nephew, Boodman Lau.
Wait. In searching for the criminal, I would suggest you look for a moneyed man. Let me tell you my suspicions, and you can work out the details.
What are they?
I went out to the temple this morning to have the body of my poor murdered niece brought here to my villa for burial. I talked to the 5 beggars, and they told me there was a 6th sleeper in the temple last night.
Was there indeed?
Yes, Mr. Lowe. A white man.
A white man?
Yes, Mr. Lowe. All 5 of the coolies and my man, Guka, told me it was true.
But, Mr. Hyradas, decapitation is not an American mode of murder.
American?
I was speaking generally. I mean, a white man's method of murder.
That is indicative in itself. I meant to call your attention to that point. It shows the white man was a highly educated man who had studied the mental habits of other people than his own. So he was enabled to give the crime an extraordinary resemblance to a Hindu crime.
But what motive could a white man have?
Possibly robbery, Mr. Fagioli. Or if he were a very intellectual man, he might have murdered the poor child by way of experiment.
A murder for experiment?
Yes, Mr. Lowe. To record the psychological reaction.
Why, I can't entertain such a theory as that, Mr. Hyradas.
Oh, no. It is too far-fetched.
However, it is worth investigating, is it not?
Yes, but I'll begin my investigations with the man Guka.
By all means, Mr. Fagioli. And in your investigations, gentlemen, hire any assistance you may need. Draw on me for any amount. I want my nephew exonerated, and above all things, I want the real criminal apprehended and brought to the gallows.
do you think of that, Pajoli? White man in that temple. Sounds like pure fiction to me, to shield Boatman Lau. You know, these fellows hang together like thieves. Say, it's a jolly good thing we didn't decide to sleep in the temple last night, isn't it?
You know, in my opinion, Lo, the actual criminal is Boatman Lau.
Same here. I thought so ever since I first saw the account in the paper. Somehow these fellows will chop their wives to pieces for no reason at all.
Lo, what do you know about Boatman Lau?
Well, he was born here and has always been a figure because of his rich uncle.
He lived here all his life?
Except when he was in Oxford for 6 years.
Oh, he's an Oxford man, huh?
Yes.
There you are. That's the trouble.
I don't understand. What do you mean, Pajoli?
Well, no doubt he fell in love with some English girl, but when old Haridas chose a Hindu child for his wife, Boatman couldn't refuse marriage. No man was going to quarrel with a $5 million legacy. And then he chose this ghastly method of getting rid of the child bride.
I dare say you're right. I feel sure Boatman Lau killed the girl. And Jones, I'm getting tired of walking. There's a cab. Let's hop it and ride the rest of the way. Hi, cabby. A cab.
I say, hi.
Well, aren't you coming?
You know, I don't feel that I can conscientiously continue this investigation, trying to clear a person whom I have every reason to believe guilty.
But, man, don't leave me like this. At least come as far as police headquarters with me and explain your theory about Guka, the temple keeper, and the right.
Well, I thought I'd go back to your cottage and pack my things.
Pack your things? Well, your boat doesn't sail until Friday.
Yes, I know, but there's a daily service to Curacao. It struck me to go there.
Oh, no. Come, you can't run off like that just when I've stirred up an interesting murder mystery for you to unravel. Why, Rosoli, you ought to appreciate my efforts as a host more than that.
Well, all right. To the police station.
Yes, hurry up.
Chief Vickers, this is my friend, Mr. Pajoli. Mr. Pajoli, Mr. Vickers is chief of Trinidad's police force.
How do you do? How do you do?
Chief Vickers, I've asked Mr. Pajoli's counsel in the Boatman Lau murder case. He's already developed a theory as to who is the actual murderer of Mrs. Boatman Lau.
So have I.
Now, in this matter, Chief Vickers, I want to be perfectly frank with you. I'll admit we're in this case in the employ of Mr. Haridas and are making an effort to clear his nephew, Boatman Lau. We felt confident you'd use the skill of the police department of Port of Spain to work out a theory clearing Boatman Lau just as readily as you would to convict him.
Our department usually devotes its time to conviction and not to clearing criminals.
Yes, I know that, but if our theory will point out the actual murderer...
What is your theory?
Mr. Pajoli's deduction is based on the dreams of the men who were found in the temple.
So Mr. Pajoli's deduction is based on dreams.
It would be a remarkable coincidence, Mr. Vickers, if 5 men had lurid dreams simultaneously without some physical cause. It suggests strongly that their tea or rice was doped. Now, if you find out what soporific was used, then have your men search the sales record of the drugstores in the city to see who has lately bought such a drug. You will find the murderer.
How do you like Trinidad, Mr. Pajoli?
I like it very much indeed.
You've just arrived, haven't you?
Yes.
In what university do you teach back in the States?
Ohio State.
A chair of criminal psychology in an ordinary state university?
I'm not a professor. I'm simply a docent, and I haven't specialized on criminal psychology. I quiz on general psychology.
You're not teaching now?
No, this is my sabbatical year.
You look young to have taught in the university 6 years, but then you Americans start young and your land is specialist. Now, Mr. Pajoli, I suppose you're wrapped up heart and soul in your psychology.
I am.
You'd do anything in the world to advance yourself in the science.
I rather think so.
Especially keen on original research work.
That's what he is, Chief Vickers. You know what he asked me to do yesterday afternoon?
No, what, Mr. Lowe?
Oh, I don't think we ought to burden Mr. Vickers with our household anecdotes.
Oh, but I'm really curious. Just what did Mr. Pajoli ask you to do yesterday afternoon, Mr. Lowe?
Oh, well, really nothing at all. It was just a little psychological experiment he wanted to do.
And did he do it?
Oh, no, I wouldn't hear of it.
Oh, as unconventional as that?
Oh, it's really nothing at all.
I think I could guess your anecdote if I tried, gentlemen. About a half an hour ago, I received a telephone message from my man stationed at the temple to keep a lookout for you and Mr. Pajoli.
A lookout for us?
Yes, because one of the coolies under arrest told him that Mr. Pajoli slept in the temple last night.
Oh, but that's not true. That's exactly what he didn't do. He suggested it to me, but I said no. You remember, Poggioli, you didn't do it. Did you, Poggioli? Did you?
You see, he did.
Gentlemen, I had a perfectly valid and important reason for sleeping in the temple last night, and so I can only ask your sympathetic attention to what I'm about to say.
Go on.
You remember, Lo, you and I were down there watching a wedding procession. Well, just as the music stopped and the procession entered the building, suddenly it seemed to me as if they vanished.
Naturally, they'd gone to the building.
No, I don't mean that. I'm afraid you won't understand what I do mean. That the whole procession had ceased to exist, melted into nothing. You see, that's really the idea in which the Hindus base their notion of heaven. Oblivion, nothing.
Yes, I've heard that before.
Well, our medieval Gothic architecture was a conception of our Western heaven, and I thought perhaps the Indian architecture had somehow caught the motif of the Indian religion, suggested nirvana. That's what amazed and intrigued me. That's why I wanted to sleep in the place. I wanted to see if I could further my shredded impression. Does that make any sense to you, Mr. Baker?
We're not interested why you went, Mr. Poggioli. We know a murder took place in the temple.
You can't think that I committed a horrible murder as an experiment.
You intellectual chaps do some pretty weird things, Mr. Poggioli. Why, only the other day I was reading about two young intellectuals. Yes, these fellows I read about also tried to turn an honest penny by their murder. I don't suppose you happened to notice yesterday that the little bride, Maila Ram, was almost covered with gold bangles and coins?
Of course I noticed. I had nothing whatever to do with her. I did sleep in the temple.
By the way, you say you slept on a rug just as the coolies did.
Yes, I did.
And you didn't wake up either, Mr. Poggioli?
No.
Then did the child's murderer happen to put a coin and a bangle in your pocket, just as he did the other sleepers in the temple?
I don't know. I haven't looked in my pocket since then.
Then please do so now, Mr. Poggioli.
Oh, yes. Here they are, Mr. Baker.
You don't happen to have any more, do you?
No. I've already been through all my pockets and I haven't any more.
Well, that's something. Of course, you might have expected just such a questioning as this and provided yourselves with these 2 pieces of gold, but I doubt it. Somehow, I don't believe that you're an experienced enough man to think of such a thing. However, we shall see. I suppose you have no objection, Mr. Poggioli, to my accompanying you over to have a little search of your baggage in Mr. Lowe's cottage? Now then, Mr. Poggioli, be so kind as to open your trunk.
Good heavens.
Mm-hmm. Just as I thought. A trunk tray full of bangles and coins. I'll say one thing for you, though, Mr. Poggioli. Your nerve almost got you by.
But you can't believe that I did it. So, you don't believe I did this, do you?
I don't. In your trunk,
If I did it, I was sleepwalking. God, to think that it's possible, but right here in my own...
Well, we might as well start back, I suppose. This is all.
I'll go back with you, Poggioli. I'll see you through. Somehow I can't. I won't believe you did it. You know, Poggioli, you set out to clear Budman Lal, and, well, dash it all, it looks as if you had.
No, he didn't. Budman Lal was out of jail at least an hour before you fellows came into police headquarters to see me.
How? You mean that you turned him loose?
Yes.
How's that, Chief Vicar?
Because, Mr. Lowe, he didn't go to the temple at all with his wife last night. He went down to Queen's Park Hotel and played billiards till 1 o'clock. He called up a few friends and proved that easily enough.
Well, that leaves nobody but...
Yes, Poggioli.
I don't know anything about it. If I did commit the murder, I was asleep. I don't know anything about it. That's all I can say. I don't know anything about it.
Perhaps arrest in jail will help restore your memory. Well, we'll see.
Come now, Poggioli, old man. Don't be too downhearted. I promise you, I'll do everything I can.
In the case against Henry Poggioli, having been duly tried by a jury of your peers who have been found guilty by the powers invested in me, I herewith sentence you to be hanged by the neck until you are dead.
To recall a lost dream is the most tantalizing task ever a human brain was driven to. But if I lie still long enough on this bunk, perhaps I can recapture the dream I had in the temple last night. Yes. It seems to me that the image on the altar moved, and suddenly the dome overhead was opened and left me staring upward into a vast abyss, where I was alone in endless space, where all creatures and all matter that had ever been or ever would be were wrapped up in me, Poggioli. That was my dream. That's an odd thing. 6 men dreaming the same dream in different terms. There must be a physical cause for such a phenomenon. Of course. I've got it. Vickers! Whoa! I have it! I've solved it! Get me out of here! I know who killed the girl!
What is it, my friend?
I know who murdered the bride. Old Hyradas did it. Now listen. Go tell Vickers to take the gold he found in my trunk and develop all the fingerprints on it. He'll find Hyradas's prints. Also tell him to follow out that opiate clue I gave him. He'll find Hyradas and a man to put the gold in my trunk. See if they don't find brass or steel filings in my room where the scoundrel sat and filed a new key.
But they've already done that long ago.
Have?
But certainly. And old Hyradas confessed everything. Though why a rich old man like him should have murdered a pretty child is more than I can see.
Well, why did he pick on me as a scapegoat?
Oh, he explained that to the police. He said he picked out a white man so the police would make a thorough investigation and be sure to catch him.
Did?
Aye. But what I can't see is why the old boy wanted to be caught and hanged. Well, why didn't he commit suicide?
Why? I know why. Because according to his religion, in that case his soul would have returned in the form of some beast. He wanted to be slain because he expects to be reborn instantly in Benace, with little Maila Ran as his bride instead of his nephews. He hopes to be a great man with wife and children. All the things he was not, here in Trinidad.
Yes, you must be right.
Why didn't you come and tell me about Hyradas's confession the moment it occurred? What do you mean keeping me here when you know I'm an innocent man? Why didn't you tell me before this?
Because I couldn't. Old Hyradas didn't confess until a month and 10 days after you were hanged.
So ends A Passage to Benarie, T.S. Scribling's tale of mysterious death and death mysterious. This was tonight's story of Suspense. Suspense is produced by William Spear. John Dietz was our guest director this evening. Tonight's radio drama was written by Carol Case and scored by Bernard Herrmann. Paul Stewart was Poggioli, Barry Kroger was Mr. Hyradas, and Horace Brent played Mr. Lowe. Others in the cast were Alan Hewitt and Guy Rex. Next week at this time, Columbia will bring you another selected story from the world's great literature of thrills, another study in suspense. This is Barry Kroger, and this is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
The Columbia Network takes pleasure in bringing you Suspense. Suspense, Columbia's play theater of outstanding thrillers, produced and directed by William Spear, and scored by Bernard Herrmann.
The notable melodramas from fiction and stage and screen, from the world's great literature of entertaining excitement, presented each week to bring you to the edge of your chair, to keep you in suspense. Tonight's story, by America's distinguished author-playwright Owen Johnson, gathers its suspense in a very gentle way. It doesn't have a spectacular finish, garnished with revolver shots. There are no graveyard watches. There's not so much as a single lifeless body, identified or unidentified. It's a tale told in a club room, the Artists and Writers Club in New York. A tale of high-class robbery and suspicion, and of how some ladies and gentlemen nervously counted 100 in the dark.
That was a fine meal. Me for the club anytime.
Here, we can all sit here, Penny.
Yes, if you'll just draw up that chair for Mr. Peters.
Oh, yeah. Peters.
Thank you. Do you all know Peters? This is Mr. Steingall.
How do you do?
Mr. Gaudier?
Oh, I'm good with Matt.
Oh, yes. Oh, you know each other.
Yes.
And the one who drew up the chair, Mr. Rankin.
How do you do?
Well, I guess we're all acquainted now.
To get back to our table discussion, Queenie.
Oh, yes. How about a drink? Who'll join me?
Oh, yeah, pleasure.
Fine. John. Well, now, Steingall, as I said, there are only half a dozen stories in the world. What is more to the point? There's every reason...
Yes, sir.
What? Oh, 5 with soda, John.
Yes, sir.
Now, where was I? Oh, yes. What is more to the point, gentlemen, is the small number of human relations that are so simple and yet so fundamental that they can be eternally played upon, redressed, and reinterpreted in every language, in every age, and yet remain inexhaustible in the possibility of variation.
Well, that's true, of course.
It's very possible.
Take the eternal triangle. 2 men and a woman, or 2 women and a man. Its variations extend to thousands. That right, Rankin?
Well, in a way.
Ah, here we are. Set them down right there, John.
Very well, sir.
A little soda. Here you are.
Thank you.
And you? Soda, Peter? Yes, please. Another one. Here you are.
Thanks.
And here's yours.
Thank you.
And now, a little soda in mine. Well, here's to you all.
Cheers. I'm afraid we can't see eye to eye, Quinny. I believe there are situations, original situations, that are independent of your human emotions, that exist just because they are situations, accidental and nothing else.
As for instance?
Well, I'll just cite an ordinary one that happens to come to my mind. In a group of 5 men, such as we are here, a theft takes place. One man is the thief. Which one? Now, I'd like to know what emotion that interprets. And yet it certainly is an original theme at the bottom of the whole literature.
It's not the same thing at all.
Detective stories.
I could answer that the situation you give can be traced back to the commonest of human emotions, curiosity.
I think Quinny has you there, Rankin.
What is the peculiar fascination that the detective problem exercises over the human mind? You will say curiosity. Yes and no. Admit at once that the whole art of a detective story consists in the statement of the problem. Anyone can do it. I can do it. Steingall can do it. Rankin, I believe even you can do it. The solution doesn't count. It is usually banal. It should be prohibited. What interests us is, can we guess it? There you have it. The problem, the detective story. Now, why the fascination? I'll tell you. It appeals to our curiosity. Yes. But deeper, to a sort of intellectual vanity. 5 men present. A theft takes place. Who's the thief? Who will guess it first? Whose brains will show its superior cleverness? You see? That's all. That's all there is to it.
Out of all of which, the interesting thing is that Rankin has supplied the reason why the supply of detective fiction is inexhaustible. It does all come down to the simplest terms. 5 possibilities, 1 answer.
Well, the reason is that the situation does constantly occur. It's a situation that any of us might get into any time.
Yes, I know of an incident of that kind that happened to a friend of mine last month.
Of course, gentlemen. You are glorifying commonplaces. Every crime, I tell you, expresses itself in the terms of the picture puzzle that you feed to your 6-year-olds. It's only the variation that is interesting. Well, take the well-known instance of the visitor at a club and the rare coin, for example. You all know that story. You've heard it, haven't you?
I don't think I have.
Sure.
Why, it's very well known.
Oh, go ahead, Crane. Tell it.
A distinguished visitor is brought into a club. A dozen men, say, present at dinner, long table. Conversation finally veers around to curiosities and relics. One of the members present then takes from his pocket what he announces as one of the rarest coins in existence. Passes it around the table. Coin travels back and forth, everyone examining it. And the conversation goes to another topic. All at once, the owner calls for his coin. It is nowhere to be found. Everyone looks at everyone else. First, they suspect a joke. Then it becomes serious. The coin is immensely valuable. Who has taken it? The owner is a gentleman. Does the gentlemanly, idiotic thing, of course. Laughs as he knows someone is playing a practical joke on him and that the coin will be returned tomorrow. The others refuse to leave the situation so. One man proposes that they all submit to a search. Everyone gives his assent until it comes to the stranger. He refuses, curtly, roughly, without giving any reason. Uncomfortable silence. The man is a guest. No one knows him particularly well, but still he is a guest. One member tries to make him understand that no offense is offered, that the suggestion was simply to clear the atmosphere. The stranger becomes very firm, very proud, and says, I refuse to allow my person to be searched, and I refuse to give the reason for my action. Another silence. The visitor evidently has the coin, but he is their guest, and etiquette protects him. Nice situation, huh?
Well, what's the answer?
The table is cleared. A waiter removes a dish of fruit, and there, under the ledge of the plate, where it's been pushed, is the coin. Banal explanation, eh? Of course. Solutions always should be. At once, everyone apologizes to him, whereupon the visitor rises and says, now I can give you the reason for my refusal to be searched. There are only 2 known specimens of that coin in existence, and the second happens to be here in my vest pocket.
That's rather obvious.
Of course, the story is well invented, but the turn to it is very nice. Very nice, indeed.
Well, I don't know. Ending is very unsatisfactory. The visitor should have had on him not another coin, but something absolutely different, something destructive, say, of a woman's reputation. And a great tragedy should have been threatened by the casual misplacing of the coin.
Well, I've heard the same story told in a dozen different ways.
Oh, it's happened 100 times. It must continually happen.
I know of one extraordinary instance. In fact, the most extraordinary instance of this sort I've ever heard.
Peters, you rascal. I see you've been quietly letting us set the stage for you.
Well, it's not a story that will please everyone.
Why not?
Because you will want to know what no one can ever know.
It has no conclusion, then?
Yes and no. As far as it concerns a woman, quite the most remarkable woman I've ever met, the story is complete.
Do I know the woman?
Possibly. Probably, I should say.
Uh-huh.
As a matter of fact, this should be particularly interesting to you because I believe that most of you are acquainted with the people involved. The names, of course, are disguised. I think... yes, I have. Just time before I catch my train to tell it to you. Mrs. Rita Kildare inhabited a charming bachelor girl studio. Very elegant. With a duplex pattern and one of the buildings just off Central Park West. She knew very nearly everyone in that indescribable society in New York that's drawn from all levels and that imposes but one condition for membership, to be amusing. In this mingled society, her invitations were eagerly sought. Her dinners were spontaneous, and the discussions, though gay and usually daring, were invariably under the control of wit and good taste. On the Sunday night of this adventure, she had, according to her custom, sent away her Filipino butler and invited to an informal chafing dish supper 7 of her more unusual friends. At 7 o'clock, having finished dressing, she put in order her bedroom, which formed a sort of free passage between the studio and a small dining room to the kitchen beyond. Then, going into the studio, she struck a match and was about to light the candlesticks which illuminated the room when the bell rang. And a Mr. Flanders, a broker, compact, nervously alive, well-groomed, was waiting as she opened the door.
Well, you're early.
On the contrary, you are late.
Well, in any case, hello, and come inside. Here, let me take your things.
Thank you. I'm the first, I suppose.
Of course. And since you are, you can be a good boy and help me with the candles.
Delighted. Who's to be here tonight?
The Enos Jacksons.
I thought they were separated.
Not yet.
How interesting. Only you, dear lady, would dream of serving us a couple on the verge.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Assuredly. Where did you know Jackson?
Through the Warings. Jackson's a rather doubtful person, isn't he?
Well, let's call him a very sharp lawyer. They tell me, though, he's been gambling pretty much. In deep.
How about yourself?
Me? I'm a bachelor. If I lose my shirt, it makes no difference.
Is that possible?
Probable, even. Who else is coming?
Oh, Maud Lilly. You know her?
No, I don't think so.
You met her here some time ago. A journalist.
Oh, yes, of course. I'd forgotten.
Mr. Harris, a clubman, is coming, and the Stanley Cheevers.
Stanley Cheevers? Are we going to gamble?
Don't tell me you object.
Certainly not. Only the Cheevers. They play quite a game. Yes, well united. They have an unusual streak of good luck. Oh, by the way, it's Jackson, isn't it, who is so attractive to Mrs. Cheever?
Quite right.
What a charming party. Where does Maud Lilly come in?
Don't joke. She's in a desperate way.
And young Harris?
Oh, he used to make the salad and cream the chicken.
See the whole party. I, of course, am to add the element of respectability.
Of what? Don't play baby with me, my dear Flanders.
I apologize.
That's better.
No one, of course, knows who else is coming.
No one, of course.
The Stanley Cheevers entered. A short, fat man with a vacant, fat face and slow-moving eye, and his wife, voluble, nervous, overdressed, and pretty. Mr. Harris came in with Maud Lilly. A woman, straight, dark, Indian, great masses of somber hair, held in a little too loosely for neatness, with thick, quick lips and eyes that rolled away from the person who was talking to her. The Enos Jacksons were late, and still agitated as they entered. His forehead had not quite banished the scowl, nor her eyes the scorn. He was of the type that never lost his temper, but caused others to lose theirs. Mrs. Jackson seemed fastened to her husband by an invisible leash. You looked at her curiously and wondered what such a nature would do in a crisis, with a lurking sense of a woman who carried with her her own impending tragedy. As soon as the company had been completed and the incongruity of the selection had been perceived, a smile of malicious anticipation ran the rounds, which the hostess cut short by saying,
Well, now that everyone's here, this is the order for the night. You can quarrel all you want, you can whisper all the gossip you can think of about one another, but everyone is to be amusing. Also, everyone is to help with dinner. And nothing formal, nothing serious. We may all be bankrupt, divorced, or dead tomorrow, but tonight we'll be gay. That's the invariable rule of the house.
For she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, for she's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
Oh, thanks, everyone. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll get on with the cooking. Harris, I'll need you.
Right with you.
May I be of any help? Thank you, Ma, dear. Oh, Mrs. Cheever, you might come along, too. All right.
This is an adorable bedroom.
Oh, thank you, dear. Now for my apron. Oh, there it is. Tie me up in the back, will you please, Maud?
Of course. There you are.
Fine, thanks. Now just let me get my rings off, and I'll be all ready to go to work. Oh, this is such a lovely apartment, Mrs. Kildare. Thanks. Soap and water always seem to do it. There.
Your rings are so beautiful.
They are nice, aren't they? But there's only one that's very valuable, the sapphire.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Let me see. Oh, it must be very valuable. It cost $10,000 6 years ago. It's been my talisman ever since. For the moment, however, I'm a cook.
You're not going to leave the rings there.
Why, of course. Now, I'm the cook. Maud Lily, you're the scullery maid. Harris is the chef, and we're all under his orders. Mrs. Cheever, did you ever peel onions?
Oh, good heavens, no.
Well, there are no onions to peel. All you have to do is help set the table.
Under their hostess's gay guidance, the 7 guests began to circulate busily through the rooms, laying the table, grouping the chairs, opening bottles, and preparing the material for the chafing dishes. Mrs. Kildare, in the kitchen, ransacked the icebox, and with her own hand shredded the chicken and measured the cream.
Flanders, carry this in carefully. Cheever, stop watching your wife and put the salad bowl on the table. Everything ready, Harris?
All set.
All right. Everyone sit down. I'll be right in.
She went into her bedroom, took off her apron, and hung it in the closet. Then, going to her dressing table, she drew the hat pin around which were her rings from the pincushion and carelessly slipped them on her fingers. But all at once, she frowned and looked quickly at her hand. Only 2 rings were there. The 3rd ring, the sapphire, was missing.
Stupid,
she said to herself, and returned to her dressing table. Immediately she stopped. She remembered quite clearly putting the hat pin through the 3 rings. She made no attempt to search further, but remained without moving, her fingers slowly drumming on the table. Who had taken the ring? Each of her guests had had a dozen opportunities in the course of the time she'd been busy in the kitchen. She ran over their characters and their situations as she knew them. Strangely enough, at each, her mind stopped upon some reason that might explain a sudden temptation.
To find out nothing this way. That's not the important thing to me just now. The important thing is to get the ring back.
And slowly, deliberately, she began to walk back and forth, her clenched hand beating the deliberate, rhythmic measure of her journey. 5 minutes later, as Harris, installed as chef over the chafing dish, was giving directions, spoon in the air, Mrs. Kildare came into the room like a lengthening shadow. Her entrance had been made with scarcely a perceptible sound, and yet each guest was aware of it at the same moment, with a little nervous start.
Heavens, dear lady, you come in on us like a Greek tragedy. What is it you have for us, a surprise?
I have something to say to you. Mr. Enos Jackson.
Yes, Miss Kildare?
Kindly do as I ask you.
Certainly.
Go to the door.
Go to the door?
Please.
Yes?
Lock it. And bring me the key.
Here you are.
You've locked it?
As you wish me to.
Thank you. Now, the bedroom door. Would you do the same?
Sure.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Mr. Cheever,
Yeah?
would you blow out all the candles except the candelabra on the table?
Blow out all the candles.
Except the candelabra.
All right.
For goodness sakes, Mrs. Kildare. What is it? I am getting terribly worked up. My nerves are all
Sorry,
over.
Mrs. Jackson.
That's the last candle.
All right. Now listen. My sapphire ring has just been stolen.
You don't mean it.
The ring's been taken within the last 20 minutes. I'm not going to mince words. The ring has been taken, and the thief is among you.
But Mrs. Kildare, is it possible?
Yes, Mrs. Cheever. There's not the slightest doubt. 3 of you were in the bedroom when I placed my rings on the pincushion.
Quite true. I was in the room when she took them off. The sapphire ring was on top.
Each of you has passed through there a dozen times since. My sapphire ring is gone, and one of you has taken it. Now listen. I'm not going to mince words. I'm not going to stand on ceremony. But I'm going to have my ring back. Listen to me carefully. I'm going to have that ring back. And until I do, not a soul shall leave this room. I don't care who's taken it. All I want is my ring. Now, I'm going to make it possible for whoever took it to restore it without possibility of detection. The doors are locked and will stay locked. I'm going to blow out the remaining candles in the candelabra, and I'm going to count 100 slowly. There'll be an absolute darkness. No one will know or see what's done. But if, at the end of that time, the ring is not here on the table, I shall telephone the police and have everyone in this room searched. Am I quite clear? Everyone take his place about the table and remain standing, please. That's it. That'll do. Now, I'll blow out the candles and count 100. No more, no less. Remember, either I get that ring, or everyone in this room will be searched. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45.
Foot slipped off the chair. I'm sorry.
47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73.
The ring.
74.
There it is.
75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88,
Oh, really?
89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100.
Well, it is there.
Mr. Cheever, you may hand it to me. Well, now that that's over, we can have a very gay little supper. The lights, someone.
And there you are, gentlemen.
Oh, I say, Peters, that's not all.
Absolutely.
The story ends there?
Story ends there.
But who took the ring?
What? You never found out?
Never.
No clue?
None.
I'm not sure I like the story.
It's no story at all.
Permit me, it is a story. And it is complete. In fact, I consider it unique because it has none of the banalities of a solution and leaves the problem even more confused than at the start.
Well, I don't see...
Of course you don't see, my dear Enkin. You do not see that any solution would be commonplace, whereas no solution leaves an extraordinary intellectual problem.
Well, how so?
Well, in the first place, whether the situation actually happened or not, which is in itself a mere triviality, Peters has constructed it in a masterly way, the proof of which is that he has made me listen. Any of those present might have taken the ring. There are therefore 7 solutions, all possible and all logical. But beyond this is left a great intellectual problem.
Well, how so?
Was it a woman who lacked the necessary courage to continue? Or was it a man who repented his first impulse? Is a man or is a woman the greater natural criminal?
Oh, that's simple, Quinny. The woman took it, of course.
On the contrary, it was a man, for the second action was more difficult than the first.
The man, certainly. The restoration of the ring was a logical decision.
You see? Personally, I incline to a woman, for the reason that a weaker feminine nature is strangely susceptible to the domination of her own sex. There you are. We could meet and debate the subject year in and year out and never agree.
I recognize most of the characters, Peters. Mrs. Kildare, of course, is all you say of her. An extraordinary woman. The story is quite characteristic of her. Flanders, I'm not sure of, but I think I know him.
I'm positive I do.
Did it really happen?
Exactly as I told it. The only one I don't recognize is Harris, your humble servant.
What?
You, Peters? You were there? I was there. I was Harris.
I beg your pardon, gentlemen.
Oh, yes, what is it, John?
Mr. Peters, sir, your train. You told me to remind you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I didn't notice so late. Will you gentlemen pardon me? Huh?
Of course.
Nice to meet you all. Night.
Curious chap. Extraordinary.
Well, now, I wonder.
I wonder if we're wondering the same thing, gentlemen.
And so, with the enigmatic smile of Mr. Peters, or Harris, ends 100 in the Dark, Owen Johnson's smooth story, which gave us tonight's Suspense. Suspense is produced by William Spear. Tonight's radio drama was written by Jack Anson Fink, directed by John Dietz, and scored by Bernard Herrmann. Eric Dressler was Mr. Peters. Alice Frost played Mrs. Kildare, and Ted Osborne, Quinny. Others in the cast were Helen Lewis, Joan Shea, Henriette Kay, Frank Reddick, Paul Luther, Stephen Schnabel, Ian Martin, and Barry Kroger. With this evening's performance, Columbia brings to a conclusion the present series of Suspense. If you've liked these broadcasts, CBS would be pleased to hear from you. Suspense has been a series presented for your relaxation and enjoyment by the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Suspense. The thrill of the nighttime, the hushed voice and the prowling step, the crime that is almost committed, the finger of suspicion pointing perhaps at the wrong man, the stir of nerves at the ticking of the clock, the rescue that might be too late or the murderer who might get away, mystery and intrigue and dangerous adventure. We invite you to enjoy stories that keep you in suspense.
For Suspense, tonight we present The Lord of the Witch Doctors by John Dixon Carr.
The drums were beating that night. The Lord of the Witch Doctors was on his way. 20 miles off the East African coast, fanned by the blistering heat of the Indian Ocean, lies the island of Zanzibar. Here, many years ago,
To be exact, in the year 1889.
3 nations were rivals for trade with the Imperial German Eagle. At Mogadishu were the Italians. A mixed population boiled along that coast, Portuguese, Arabs, Swahili. On the island itself, Sayed Khalif, Sultan of Zanzibar, ruled the of a once mighty empire. Mohammedan Bantus of the tribe of Zeng. Look over there, in the moonlight. That white building, patched and rotted, was the palace where Sayyid Khalif lived with his fat wives and his captive lion. Not far away on the hill overlooking the harbor stood the British Residency. The British resident, or crown official, held uneasy sway against German and Italian influence. And at the Residency on that hot night long...
Martha.
Yes, Father?
Come away from the windows, please.
But, Father, those drums are on the mainland.
Never mind.
20 miles from here.
I'd rather you stood back.
It's the fires I don't like, sir. You can see the red light all this distance. They're having a beano of some kind.
You'd better stand back, too, Mr. Harris.
Oh, look here, sir.
Yes, Mr. Harris?
I've been your diplomatic attaché in this place for 3 years. Couldn't you call me by my first name in private?
Just as you please. Lower the sun blinds and turn down the wick of that lamp.
You don't think there's any danger?
There's no danger whatever, but...
Hero seems terribly restless tonight.
Only natural, my dear, with the drums going.
Everybody seems restless. This has been going on for days. You begin to get in your nerves.
So you feel it too, eh?
And I do wish Sayyid Khalif wouldn't tease Nero. Jab at him with the meat fork and that kind of thing. If that lion ever got loose...
Nerves, my dear, nothing but nerves.
Well, let's face it, sir. There's something very queer going on over on that mainland.
Well, suppose there is.
All we know is what Nyoka knows. This great witch doctor, whoever he is, been making a triumphal progress to the coast. The whole bush is afraid of him.
You alarm me.
Nyoka says he's got horns. Can make himself 7 feet tall. Like stretching an accordion.
Oh, really, Bill Harris?
I don't say I believe it. I say it might be dangerous. Now, for instance, could this be one of Dr. Schmidt's tricks?
Dr. Schmidt is a friend of ours.
Yes, he's also head of the German East Africa Company.
Dr. Schmidt is a gentleman.
Look at that coast over there. He's got every native chief in his pocket.
Dr. Schmidt assured me that the German emperor has no more territorial claims in East Africa.
We get our trade concessions from Sayyid Khalif. Sayyid's our only friend, but we can't even be sure of him. The Germans give him trade gin and a grand piano. The Italians give him 3 new wives for his harem. What do we give him?
I have no instructions from London about the situation in this island.
No. Somebody in Whitehall probably forgot to post them.
For the last time, Mr. Harris, I will not hear His Majesty's government criticized like that.
Sorry.
These things take time. If there's any danger, we'll be notified in due course.
Listen.
Well, they're only our own natives. They beat their own drums, you know.
Somebody went past that window.
That's probably only Nyoka, my dear. Surely you're not afraid of our own servant.
No, but
Master! Nyoka, listen to me. Don't hang on to that big curtain. You'll pull it down. Now stand up straight and tell me. What is it?
He here, Bana. He here, yes, please.
Who's here?
Big witch doctor here, yes, please. He come up past in moonlight. He walk slow, boom, boom. He got big teeth eat with. The outside front door now.
What was that?
The drums have stopped.
Nyoka's right, sir. We have got a visitor. There's somebody coming down the hall.
Better turn down that lamp, Martha.
I can't seem to find the lamp. My fingers are all thumbs.
There's a revolver in the table drawer behind you, sir.
I don't need it. Stand perfectly still, all of you.
Now, please, friends all, don't be alarmed.
Are you English?
That's right, miss. Born and bred in Streatham. Which of you is the British consul?
I am the British resident, sir. My name is Richardson. May I ask the meaning of this tomfoolery?
Well, that's just what I'm here to tell you. Or maybe I'd better show you. Now, observe me right hand. I hold it up so, and as I live, a lighted cigar. But perhaps the lady doesn't like smoking in the drawing room. Now, look here. There's nothing up my sleeves. I wouldn't deceive you for the world. I turn over my hand, and would you believe it? A glass of water.
Is this man insane?
Father, I think he's trying to tell you he's a magician.
That's right, miss. Direct from the Egyptian Hall, Piccadilly. Animal taming and magic. That's my line.
Then you're the famous witch doctor that's got all the natives in an uproar?
Nobody else, young fella.
Yes, well, you tell us what you mean by this nonsense. Scaring everybody when there's no danger.
No danger? I suppose you haven't heard about Sayyid Khalif and his Gatling guns?
Gatling guns?
Kindly presented by Dr. Otto Schmidt. And believe me, All you've got is an appointment with a Gatling gun, unless my nonsense steps in. Here, take a look at this.
But you can't be from the British Foreign Office.
Well, that's just what I am, Governor, and going up in the world, don't you think? By the way, I'd better give you your instructions. The envelope's pretty dirty and a little bit smelly from being under my furs and devil pink, but...
Read it, sir. Go on and read it.
Foreign Office, Whitehall, British Consul, Zanzibar. Bearer of this letter, the Great Mephisto.
That's me. Real name, Barney Hicks.
They must be out of their minds.
Are they? Listen, old man. I've been 3 weeks in that jungle with a Swahili interpreter. I've been bitten and stung and fried to death. But Schmidt or no Schmidt, I've got those native chiefs just where I want them. You see what happens when I announce I'm a friend of the Great White Queen? Why, you'll have them eaten out of your hand.
Well, that's true.
And all we've got to do is get around Sayyid Caliph here on this island.
But do we need to get around him?
Young lady, be good enough not to speak until you're spoken to.
Oh, I'm sorry, Father. Sayyid may be lazy and as fat as a hippopotamus. He's rather a fine old boy.
Is he?
You said something about Gatling guns.
Now, listen. Here's the game.
Father, I don't like this. I've never heard Nero as restless as that.
Never mind, Nero. Go on.
Well, I came over here tonight in a steam launch. Tomorrow I'm paying my state visit to the great Sultan Sayyid Caliph. Now, you present me as your friend, and the friend of the Great White Queen, and I do my best tricks Is anything wrong with your native boy?
Nyoka, be still.
You're not afraid of our witch doctor friend, are you?
No, I good Christian.
Here, what are you doing? Come out from under that sofa.
But, Juana, I see something. I look out through windows. See Juana Baldhead coming apart.
Juana Baldhead?
That's Dr. Schmidt.
Dr. Schmidt? Well, he mustn't find me here.
Yes, I quite agree. This is most irregular.
To the back way out of here?
Yes, through that arch. Stay in the back room. Naoko will show you.
Me go with witch doctor.
Yes, honey, please.
I know like.
Never mind what you like. You go.
All right, master.
It's all right. They've gone.
Yes, about time, too. Well, good evening, Dr. Schmidt. Pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure to see you.
Ah, my friends, I wish I could say it was such a pleasure to see you.
Isn't it, Doctor?
This at any time but now. Do not mistake me, I beg of you. No, it is that confounded line, Nero. Always I say it will happen, and now it has happened.
What about Nero?
My friends, I regret. Yes, mate is killed. He has tasted blood.
What's that?
You permit that I sit down and take off my sun helmet. I am not young, and I'm tired.
It's not Sayyid Caliph.
Yeah, it is so. Yes, this that line once store.
Oh, poor old boy. He was our friend. He's not dead.
Yeah, I regret. Yeah, he is dead. Sultan of Zanzibar is dead.
Oh, Gad. But how did the lion ever get at him?
He drank too much pumba. That was his trouble. He got drunk and think he can do too much. So he opened the door and went to the lion's cage.
Into the cage?
Yeah, would you believe it?
Not easily.
But it is true. Over to Paris there's what you call gnashing of teeth. The son Novius in tears.
Did you see this happen, Doctor?
No. I go there later and they tell me. It's all of us because of some foolish toy, tombhead toy, that he has been struck over the head and thrown into the cage by someone who did not like him.
Well, that's more likely if you ask me.
My friend, it is foolishness. Everybody liked old man. He was a father to his people and a kind friend.
Doctor, are you telling us that Said may have been put into that cage unconscious?
It is what one African soldier says, yeah.
Well, then he may still be alive.
Alive? It is impossible.
What's more than possible? A lion may maul an unconscious man, but it doesn't often kill him. This is vital. Vital to Said himself and others as well. You're a doctor. Can't you go and make sure?
My friend, I regret. I am not that kind of a doctor.
Harris, you may be right. I think I'd better go myself.
Is this a good idea, sir? I'll stay here and entertain Dr. Schmidt. Unless, of course, he wants to go.
No. I thank you. I do not like sights of that sort. I have a tender heart and I have illnesses. Besides, you can do nothing. I tell you, he is dead.
Yes, we'll see. Martha, you'd better come with me. Your nurse's training may be of some use at last.
Of course. Hadn't we better go the back way and speak to Nyoka?
Yes. Nyoka mustn't be troubled in that back room.
Very good evening to you, Dr. Schmidt.
Ah, Mr. Harris. They have good hearts, but they're so foolish. I would give my own right arm to aid that poor man.
Well, they must have philosophy. They must cheer up and bear it.
Yes. Now, Doctor, we're all alone.
So we are. We must sit down and have a nice, comfortable chat. Yes?
Definitely, yes.
Oh.
I wanted to have a word with you anyway.
Ah, so? About what, Mr. Harris?
Oh, various things.
I am happy to give you all the time in the world. I like talking to young people. It makes me feel young again myself.
Like Nobi?
Nobi?
Sayyid Khalif's eldest son, the new Sultan.
Ah, one fine young man for a savage.
Yes, but weak, easy to manage, and very fond of his father, too. It's a wonder he didn't have the lion shot after they got the body away.
Shot with what, my friend? I beg your pardon, Eamon. I do not consider the matters funny. No. But shot with what? These brutes, they have nothing but muzzle-loading muskets. Get near with those? No.
Suppose they had Gatling guns.
Pardon?
Just suppose that, of course.
Of course.
Well?
Ah, my friend, Gatlings would be of no better use. You only wound. To kill a lion, you must reach the eye or heart with a high-power bullet. What is the matter with us? Why are we talking of these things?
Talking of death, you mean? Of Sayyid Khalif, who gave all the trade concessions on Zanzibar to the British?
My friend, I was talking about express rifles.
Look here, don't you find it warm in here?
Yeah, a little.
Yes, it smells of animal's fur, doesn't it? I'll just raise those sun blinds.
No. You must not trouble yourself to do that.
It's no trouble.
I beg of you not to trouble. It is not necessary.
Doctor, you've been mopping your forehead ever since you've been here. A little fresh air never hurt anybody. Here. Yeah. Isn't that better?
Much. Why not sit down, my boy, and we have a nice chat?
Fine enough night. No smell of the animal's cage here.
My friend, you talk like a hunter.
Yes. Or a victim. Yes, it's a fine night. At least for this part of the world. Fire's still burning on the mainland. I wonder if that's a good sign.
Of what?
I wish I knew. And the sea is like skim milk under the moon. And... Good Lord.
What is it? What makes you jump?
Look there, in the harbor.
My friend, I see nothing. Perhaps if I take off my spectacles and wipe...
Why, man, you must see it. In the harbor, out at the left there, beyond the shadow of those big palm trees. Don't you see our riding lights? It looks like... By George, it is. It's a warship.
It's only a German gunboat, my friend. Only a very little German gunboat.
German gunboat?
My friend, you must not be so distrustful. That is not kind.
Oh, let me get a telescope.
But I tell you who she is. It is nothing. She is on what you call a goodwill tour. You're not angry.
Angry? My friend.
Well, I did not know. I could not guess. That is, the Englanders are hard to understand.
We know that ourselves.
I tell you something in confidence. The Germans are sensitive. The British objected. The natives feel too strong. I tell the gunboat to go away. I fire an express rifle. It has a sound. Boom! You cannot mistake one another. That is why I think of an express rifle. What if nobody will object?
Why, not the least bit. Tell me, Doctor, you like it here on this island?
Well, it's not Berlin.
Don't you ever want to get away from a forsaken mud heap like this?
My friend, I am a German. My duty is here, so I stay here.
Yes, I know. Between ourselves, that's exactly my position.
But you are young.
Well, that's not the point. It's the importance of the job. The British don't rule Zanzibar. We hold the trade concessions from Sayyid Khalif, and our residency has to protect them. But even you, Doctor, would be surprised at the amount of trade that we have to protect and the revenue that comes out of this island.
It's so now. You don't say so.
I do say so.
Is it so much?
More than you think. Of course, I'm not allowed to give you any figures.
No, of course not. I would not dream of asking you. How much would you say it comes to, roughly?
Oh, come now, Doctor. As one gentleman to another, you're not asking me to give away secrets.
Oh, no. It was only a joke, you understand. Please do not try to up-trip me. I would try to pull your leg, and it was only a joke, believe me.
Yes. It's all in the game, as it were.
Yes, all in the game as gentlemen.
Oh, Doctor, you're quite a humorist.
You're not offended?
Not at all. No, as I was saying, I hold a rather important job. Of course, Mr. Richardson holds an even more important one. He's been very friendly with old Saeed Khalifa on this job. Of course, you know what that job is?
Of course. He's the British consul. What is the matter with you? You're not smiling any longer. Why are you looking at me like that?
So that's it. That's the game. You made exactly the same mistake that he did. Who did? Dr. Schmidt, have you met the great lord of the witch doctors? The maker of spells and the tamer of lions?
I am a good Christian. I pay no attention to what natives say. I do not believe in witch doctors.
No, neither do I. Not in this one, at any rate.
What one?
The witch doctor who came here tonight and said that he was on a mission for the British Foreign Office. He's an imposter from the word go, and you're working with him. Oh, don't upset your chair like that, Dr. Schmidt. Because if you fall on it, you may hurt yourself.
I have not hurt myself, young man.
Oh, yes, you have. The fellow who came here tonight addressed Mr. Richardson as the British consul. That might have been a slip of the tongue. But then you see the letter on the table there?
I have eyesight, I thank you.
That letter is supposed to come from the Foreign Office, and it calls him the British consul, too. I heard it read aloud. The Foreign Office may make mistakes, but they don't make mistakes like that. That letter, Doctor, is a forgery. It was forged by a German, and probably by the German who calls himself Barney Hicks, or the Great Mephisto. He's in the back room now.
No, he's not, Governor. He's standing in the doorway behind you now.
Yes, I thought I heard you.
But don't turn around to look at me. I'm just warning you.
Have you got anything to enforce that?
Yes. I've got a 500 express rifle that could smear you all over the opposite wall.
Karl, was du auch immer tust?
No,
don't.
Well, if you fellas are going to shoot me, I wish you'd speak English about it.
Karl, I beg of you. No. Don't fire that rifle.
Exactly. You see, Carl, I'm turning around.
This is all very... now, Carl.
You see what the doctor means, Carl? If you fire that rifle, you'll send your gunboat out of that harbor just when you need it. Isn't that the signal, Doctor? To send the gunboat away?
Carl, I beg of you.
Yes, it is. Very simple, economical German signal. So, you two killed Saeed Khalif.
That is slander. That cannot be proved.
You had to do it, I imagine. Saeed was the one chief that you couldn't buy or frighten with your witch doctor, so you got rid of him. Tomorrow morning, the witch doctor would have appeared. He'd have scared the daylights out of a weak and superstitious son, Noby.
I told you I was fairly good at my work, Governor. And I am.
Yes, and then the witch doctor would have taken over everything. The British resident had to be bamboozled for 24 hours to keep him out of the way with a ghost story about a British agent. And there was a gunboat in the harbor in case of trouble.
Slight mistake there, Governor. There is a gunboat in the harbor.
Yes.
It's really worked out beautifully. The Emperor should be pleased. I don't think your White Queen will be very happy, though. I'm the great witch doctor to that frightened mob over there. Saeed is dead. And there's a German gunboat in the harbor.
Listen. I think I hear something. Whoever's out there, stay back. Whoever's out there, stay back.
Bill, listen to me. Saeed's alive. He's alive.
This is impossible.
We can see him breathe. We don't even think he's badly hurt, but he's still in the cage, unconscious.
Still in the cage? You mean they can't get him out of there?
If he wakes up or they attempt anything, Nero will tear him to pieces. The whole crowd over there is nearly crazy, but they don't dare go into the cage.
Well, gentlemen, you should have been more careful. If they do get Saeed out of there alive, you're done for. Be quiet. Listen.
Noby and the rest of the natives are coming up here now.
See here, miss. Are you talking about the old boy's son?
Noby, yes. He wants to see the witch doctor.
The witch doctor? This puts you in some slight trouble, Carl.
Listen to me, miss. I couldn't get that old buzzard out of the way from that lion, even if I've got to get out of here.
Too late now, my dear witch doctor. The natives have surrounded the house.
Who's that?
It's Nobi. He's coming down the hall.
I Nobi. Speak white language. Carry Sultan's wand. Witch doctor? Much respect. Fallen floor.
Go ahead. Play your part, Carl. Play your ruddy part.
Get up again. Great medicine man. Father hurt. Encaged with the lion. You come.
Say something, Carl. You can't be a dumb wizard.
You come.
My dear Nobi, my friend. The witch doctor can't understand you.
Hey, witch doctor. Not speak everything. Bad witch doctor.
No, it is not that. He does not hear you. He's in another world. See how his eyes close. See how he say?
I know this. He saved my father. Or maybe all of you. We will kill all white people here. Witch doctor saved my father from lion. You come.
Nobi, listen to me. You needn't worry. The great witch doctor can save your father.
Go in cage?
No, not go in cage.
Strike with fire?
Yes, that's it. Strike with wizard fire. Open heaven. Flash great light. Nero scream and die. Father saved.
Carl, you must not save him. If he remain alive, he will talk. Then the natives will know.
You not want to save father?
The witch doctor does want to save your father, Nobi. You see that gun under his arm?
Gun? Gun no good. Not use gun. Only wound lion. Lion in pain kill father.
No, that's not like your muskets, Nobi. It's an express gun. It's a magic gun.
Magic gun?
Listen, Nobi. Magic gun save your father with one shot. Just like that. Lion fall over dead. Your father well again. And our friend.
We use gun. Give me gun.
No, you could not use it, Nobi. The witch doctor can use it best. Tell him to use it. Tell him to be sure that he hits the lion.
Look here, Harris. I've had enough of this.
Yes, Nobi. If he wants to hit Nero with that white fire, he can strike the lion dead before you can wink your eyes.
Then do.
You'd better try it, Carl. And you'd better not miss him, or you know what'll happen to every white person in this room.
My hands are shaking.
Magician with shaky hands? That won't do.
I take your shoulder. You follow. Yala, Ngomba. Go. There is cage by palace door. All court over river, bright as day. 1,000 torches, all make light. Now do. Now do.
See how quiet they get when Nobi raises his hand. They're praying.
So are we.
Won't do it.
You'd better. I told you that. They're out of hand now. If you miss, you're no witch doctor. And if you had any thought of hitting Saeed instead, just imagine what they do to you.
I can't see. These torches blind me.
You do.
I think the old man's moving. If he stirs, the lion will kill him. You know what that means. That's right. Up with the rifle.
My hands are shaking.
Careful with the sights. It's a point-blank shot.
Allah! Focus!
All right, Nobi. The lion is dead. They can go in and carry your father out now.
Lion dead? German magic. It's great magic.
Yes, Nobi, it is. But English magic is greater.
English magic better than German magic?
Yes, Nobi. Now prove it. Turn around. Look out towards the harbor. I stand here. I wave my hand, like this. Nothing up my sleeves. I wouldn't deceive you for the world. I wave my hand,
towards the gunboat in the bay. The gunboat sails away. English magic, Nobi. English magic. And so ends The Lord of the Witch Doctors. Tonight's story of suspense.
Next Tuesday, when CBS again brings you Suspense, our story will be The Devil in the Summer House. The broadcast for next week only is scheduled for 10 p.m. Eastern Wartime, a half hour later than usual. William Spear, the producer, John Dietz, the director, Bernard Herrmann, the composer-conductor, and John Dixon Carr, the author, are all collaborators on Suspense. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Suspense. Now let's see. Suspect, suspectant, suspend. Here we are. Suspense. The condition of mental uncertainty, usually accompanied by apprehension or anxiety. Fear of something which is about to occur, as do not keep me any longer in suspense.
For our story of suspense tonight, we invite you to enjoy The Devil in the Summer House by John Dixon Carr.
Somewhere along the Hudson, perhaps not far from Tarrytown, there is a modest house in its own grounds. Behind it, in a spacious garden, stands a summer house of evil memory. More than 25 years ago, a man shot himself, or at least died, in that summer house. They found Major Kenyon with a scorched bullet hole in his head and the weapon beside him. But we are in the present now. The latticed summer house has grown heavy with vines, and only the other evening 2 men came into that garden at twilight, over the shaggy grass, as a storm was brewing along the Hudson. 2 men, the lawyer from New York.
Who's there?
And Captain Burke of the homicide squad.
Easy, my friend, easy. I was just trying to ask you the same thing.
My name is Parker. I'm an attorney. You're not Captain Burke.
Yeah, the very same and no other. I thought I recognized you, Mr. Parker. Must be something important to bring you so far from New York at this time of night.
I was in Tarrytown anyway. I thought there'd be a housekeeper here, but I don't see any light.
You've got business here?
Yes, in a way. Have you?
I don't know. I'll tell you better after you tell me what brought you to a place that no one has lived in for 10 years.
Tell me, Captain. Did you ever get an anonymous letter from a dead man? Did you?
No, I can't say I did. The letter's anonymous. How do you know the man's dead?
Because they're all dead. Every last one of them. Dead and under the ground where they can't be hurt any longer. Look. There's the summer house where Jerry Kenyon used to work. There are the windows of the library and the dining room. Looking good. Confound this lightning.
Makes the windows blaze, don't it?
Jerry Kenyon hadn't a care in the world. Yet he shot himself. I'll show you the letter.
Now, look, Mr. Parker, I couldn't read anything in this light. But if we can get inside the house
Certainly we can get into the house. I was the family attorney. I've got the keys. Why should a dead person send me a letter?
Oh, lights working, eh? But you got a flashlight, I see. Came here prepared for anything, eh?
This is the library. There were always candles on the mantel. Yes, there they are. Have you a match, Captain?
Yes, I'll light them.
That's better. Same old heavy furniture. Same old thick carpet. Same old globe map.
Now, Mr. Parker, this letter that you were talking about.
Yeah. Read it.
Hey, wait a minute. This thing is dated November 2nd, 1918.
That's right, and be careful of that paper. You see how old it is? But it was mailed yesterday.
From where?
I don't remember. I didn't keep the envelope. Read it.
Dear Joe.
In case you didn't know it, I'm Joe.
Dear Joe, if you want to know how Major Kenyon really died...
But we know how he died. It was suicide.
Are you sure it was? Whoever wrote this letter doesn't seem to think so. If you want to know how Major Kenyon really died, look in the third drawer of the desk in the library. Press hard at the back of the drawer. Yours very truly. It's not signed.
That's right.
Now, you're sure you don't know who wrote that letter?
This is the first time I've been back in this room, Captain. It was almost a home to me once. There's the chair where Isabel sat on the afternoon it happened. Isabel was Jerry Kenyon's wife. Beautiful woman. There's the door that the maid let me in by that afternoon. You know, Captain, seems to me they're all here tonight.
Who?
We stand beneath the sounding rafter, and the walls around us are bare as they echo our peals of laughter. It seems that the dead are there.
Yet we stand to our glasses steady.
You know it?
I was in my school reader. Now, how does the rest of it go?
Yet we stand to our glasses steady and drink to our comrades' eyes. Here's a glass to the dead already. Hurrah for the next that dies. Excuse me, Captain. I don't know what's come over me talking that way. I was very fond of these people.
Are you going to look in the desk drawer?
This is a lot of nonsense.
Then why are you here, Mr. Parker?
Jerry Kenyon was always a happy man. At least that's what I always thought. Big, boisterous fellow.
Yeah?
He had a good position with Vitaton. You know, the phonograph company.
Yeah, sure, I know.
But he'd just been made a major in the Army. 1917. There was a war on then, too, if you remember.
I remember. To make the world safe for democracy.
Old days. Old heartaches. Old memories. I remember that blazing hot day in August when all the windows were up. I remember this room. And Isabel, that was Jerry's wife, sitting in that chair, knitting. I remember...
Oh, yes, Kitty. What is it?
There's a man to see you, Miss Kenyon. He says his name's Parker.
Yes, I'm expecting him. Show him in, please.
All right, ma'am. So I take your knitting in your knitting bag?
Why should you take my knitting?
I don't know, Miss Kenyon. I just wondered. You can come in now.
Thank you.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Isabel. You sent for me?
Joe, I must apologize for Kitty. Servants are getting to be a problem nowadays.
She looks pretty enough to get along.
Oh, Kitty's got large ideas. She wants to go on the stage, if you please, and do imitations, like Miss Draper. She only knew how hard it was acting all your life.
Isabel, you've been crying.
I have not. At least
Is that why you sent for me?
I've missed you. You haven't been here in over a week, Joe.
I had an idea Jerry was getting a little tired of having me around this house.
Oh, no, Joe. Why, Jerry...
Yes, what about Jerry?
I wish I knew, Joe. That's why I wanted you here.
Where is he, by the way? I want to say goodbye to him before he leaves.
He's probably out in the summer house where he works with all those papers. He's got a lot of work to catch up with. He's going overseas tomorrow.
Yes, I know.
He's out there. He's been out there all day. His last day here. I've been alone.
That sounded like a shot.
Yes, it was a shot, Joe, dear.
Doesn't seem to worry you.
It's only Paul. Jerry's brother, Paul.
Oh, thought you'd gotten him off your hands for good.
Jerry asked him out. He got here 2 nights ago.
That doesn't make it any easier for you, does it?
No, I don't mind. Jerry's fixed him up with a pistol range in the cellar. Paul's a terribly bad shot. Not like the rest of us. You don't seem to like it, Joe. Shall I have Kitty go down and tell him?
No, it's bearable. As long as he keeps away.
Poor Joe.
But, about Jerry, who is it this time?
Joe, Jerry's been home 5 days on leave from camp. Well, never mind what camp. But he spent 4 evenings of those 5 with that Fisk woman.
Diane Fisk? The redhead with all the money?
Oh, she got money?
Well,
She must have some attraction then. Please understand me, Joe. It's not that I'm jealous any longer. It's just
no,
that
of course not.
Jerry goes his way and I go mine. I may not be without admirers myself, if it comes to that.
You've no idea how true that is, Isabel.
No, I was thinking about Jerry. He may not always be lucky. He may meet some girl who's not as broad-minded as I am. And then when he gives her the go-by... Paul must be getting really furious down in that cellar. He's not hitting anything.
He must be using a lot of ammunition.
Now, your trouble, Joe, is that you're too much of a gentleman. And if you really want to see Jerry, there he is now.
Where?
Just standing in the door of the summer house. Look out the window.
It's finally bright out there.
Doesn't he look noble in his new uniform? Sam Brown belt and revolver and everything. Well, look how he turns around and waves his cap at us. Like a real soldier.
Real soldiers don't exactly wave their caps, do they?
He does. Jerry? Jerry!
Hello there!
Jerry, Joe Parker's here.
Who?
Joe Parker. He wants to see you.
Well, give him a drink or something. I'll be up in a minute.
Into the summer house again. Not a care in the world,
Now,
Henry.
listen, Isabel, you've got to slow down. You'll be crying again in a minute. Come on over here and sit down.
Light hurts my eyes, that's all.
Well, then we'll just pull these blinds. We'll still be able to see it. There, how's that?
It's better, thanks.
Now, can I get you anything?
Oh, no, you heard the Great White Chief's orders. I'm to get you something. What do you have, Joe? A highball?
Don't bother with that.
Oh, it's no bother. Everything's out in the dining room here. The iceman didn't deliver today of all days, so I'm afraid I can't give you any ice. I read in the paper yesterday that we're likely to have automatic ice boxes any day now. Things that freeze ice by electricity or something. Do you believe that, Joe?
I doubt it. Listen, Isabel.
Here you are. Not cold at all. It's the best I could do.
Thanks very much. What I wanted to say was, couldn't you get that brother of yours to give up practicing now? Hasn't he done his good deed for the day?
Yes, maybe he has. I'll ring for Kitty.
You don't have to call me, Miss Canyon. I'm here.
Oh, yes, Kitty. What is it?
It's only to tell you there's another visitor. This time it's a woman.
Lady, Kitty. Call her a lady, please.
Oh, maybe. She says her name's Diane Fisk.
Diane Fisk, that's Jerry.
Kitty, tell the lady I'm not in.
Lady. She's a fine lady.
I don't know the truth, my dear. I don't know the truth.
Anyway, it's too late, Miss Kenyon. She's coming down the hall now.
My dear Mrs. Kenyon. How do you do, Diane? This is a friend of ours, Miss Fisk, Miss Parker.
Now, I don't want to intrude, really. I don't. I wouldn't have intruded for worlds, especially on a day like this. Isn't it awful? But your husband simply insisted, my dear Mrs. Kenny. He simply wouldn't take no for an answer.
I'm sure he wouldn't.
Do you know what he's brought from his office as a surprise?
No.
A phonograph recording machine. And he's going to let us use it.
So that we can all hear ourselves talk twice. How nice. Heaven's name, can't somebody stop that firing?
Don't fly off the handle. Take it easy.
Kitty.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you please go down the cellar and tell Mr. Kenyon's brother he's driving us all crazy. Tell him to stop.
Yes, ma'am. My dear Mrs. Kenyon, I do hope I haven't offended you in any way. I know I'm a silly little chatterbox. They say people who have red hair often are. Because at your age, you must find the heat very trying.
Don't you think we'd all better sit down?
I
was very much interested in what Miss Fisk said about a phonograph recording machine. Mrs. Kenyon was just talking about a machine to make ice.
Yes. Isn't science wonderful? But I do think it was neat of Major Kenyon to invite me out here and then go and fall asleep in the summer house.
Did you say fall asleep?
Yes, of course.
How did you know?
Well, I came up the back way and I saw him in the summer house with his head forward on the table, taking a nice little snooze.
That's very queer.
Of course, you couldn't see much except in the bright light of the door, but I think I saw him there. I didn't disturb him, naturally.
But I think I'd better disturb him.
Oh, now, please don't trouble on my account.
The fact is, my dear, I don't altogether trust myself in this room. A woman of my age has to conserve her strength, you know. So if you'll just excuse me.
Well, of course, if you... Oh, dear, I just can't think what I'm always saying because I have the best intentions in the world, Mr. Barker.
Parker.
Yes, Parker, but I do somehow manage to offend people being so dependent and everything. Except the men, of course. I couldn't offend you, Mr. Parker. Now, could I?
Madam, I'm not sure.
Well, of course, the person I really came to see was Paul, Mr. Kenyon's brother. He's a little young, of course, but he's joining up next month, and I think we should all do our bit, don't you? He has such a pleasant personality. I think he likes me. Why, if he walked in at that door this minute...
Now, how am I ever going to get any place? Someone's always interrupting my revolver practice just when I'm getting to the point where I can... Oh.
Why, Paul.
Good Lord, are you here again?
You're a very untidy object, Paul.
Well, it's pretty untidy in the cellar. And dirty. I've got cockroaches on me, so keep away.
Did you have a good day shooting?
Swell. One of the best.
Hit the target?
On the only shot that mattered, I hit the target dead center. That sounded like Isabel.
I think it was Isabel.
Why have you got those blinds down? Get them up. What is it? What's wrong with you? What are you looking at through that window?
That was 25 years ago, Captain Burke. We found Jerry Kenyon lying across the table in the summer house. He'd shot himself through the head with his own revolver from the holster. It was lying on the floor beside him.
Shadows on it, right? I see.
When Isabel found him, he'd been dead about half an hour.
The doctors proved that, did they?
Yes, that shot had been fired against his head. The front of his uniform cap was powder burned where the bullet entered.
There's no doubt about that.
None at all. We never noticed the real shot
because that young lad was shooting off guns like a maniac in the cellar.
Precisely. Now they're all dead. By accident, illness, they're all gone. Isabel Kenyon died less than a year afterwards. I think she died just because she was so fond of Jerry. I suppose you've guessed my little secret.
Oh, I think I can sort of read between the lines. You were in love with Isabel Kenyon, weren't you?
Yes.
Well, these things happen.
I never let her see it, you understand?
Women know, pretty generally.
So, they're gone. The youngest of them. And I'm left alone with old tunes, old ghosts, wondering why the fellow ever killed himself. Why? Why? And this morning, out of a clear sky, I get a letter saying, if you want to know how Major Kenyon really died, look in the third drawer of the desk in the library. But I tell you, we know how he died.
Well, aren't you going to do it?
Naturally. I've got a key somewhere here that fits the drawer.
Now, listen, Mr. Parker. In my father's country, in Ireland, they got a saying that when a man's going to commit suicide...
I thought of doing that, too.
Then the devil comes in and takes him by the hand and talks to him. They say you can see the devil as plain as I see you, just before you pull the trigger.
The devil must have been in the summer house that afternoon, then.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
What do you mean?
Major Kenyon didn't kill himself. He was murdered.
My dear Captain Burke, the police covered all that at the time. Everybody had an alibi.
They did they?
Well, think of what I've told you. Isabel and I were together all the time. Paul, her brother, was shooting off guns in the cellar.
Yeah.
Diane Fisk.
Yeah, what about her?
Her chauffeur who drove her there swore he saw her walk straight up to the place. She passed the summer house, but didn't stop there.
Well, that checks.
Even Kitty the maid could prove she'd never stirred out of the house until just a minute or so before Isabel went herself.
Oh, and why did the maid have to leave the house at all?
She was taking Jerry the black coffee he drank every afternoon. He'd already been dead half an hour then. And that, my dear Captain, disposes of everybody.
Well, now listen, Mr. Parker. You're a good guy, and I'm not going to hold out on you any longer. You see, I say Major Kenyon was murdered because I know he was murdered.
By an outsider?
By one of the people in the house.
That's impossible.
Is it? Well, why don't you open that desk drawer and see? What time is it?
It's 7:45.
7:45? And I haven't got much time.
For what?
Holy St. Patrick, will you open that drawer?
If it's waited 25 years, my friend, it can wait a minute more. I've got the key somewhere in this bunch of keys. Everything the same. Paul never altered when he inherited. Same old desk, same old phonograph. Same old... I think this is the key. Yeah, it opens. There's nothing here except one or two old newspapers. Everything very dirty.
The letter says to press hard at the back. Now, have you tried that?
Doesn't seem to. Yes, by George, it does work.
Well?
There seems to be a movable back on a hinge.
Well, what's inside?
Some sort of flat brown paper parcel sealed with wax. And about as dirty as it can get.
Open it, man. Open it.
I'm going to. It's a phonograph record. There's a plain white label. Something on it written in pencil. I don't see too well nowadays without my glasses.
Here, give it to me. I'll read it to you.
Go on.
A record of how I killed Jerry Kenyon. Say, don't you get it, Mr. Parker? This is the real goods. The murderer's going to tell us his own story 25 years later.
Be careful. Whatever you do, don't drop it.
You seem to be interested enough now.
I don't say I'm not interested. I say I can't believe it.
You know, when you were talking about the dead coming back and that kind of thing, you sure started giving me goose pimples. But that's just what it is, a dead person. Now, there's the phonograph. Put that record on. Let's hear what the ghost says.
Any of them could have made the record, of course. The apparatus was all here.
Don't just stand there by the phonograph. Will it work?
Yes, it works.
Is it wound up?
Yes, it's wound up. Here goes.
Now, look, Mr. Parker. Whose voice do you think it's going to be?
I don't know.
Now, I want to warn you. The voice you're going to hear from there...
Please, be quiet. Listen. I've started it up. Well, speak up. Who killed Jerry Kenyon?
I killed him, Joe, dear.
Isabel.
I'm sorry about it, Joe, but I had to have you for an alibi. And you were so terribly easy to
It's
fool.
only a phonograph record, man. Don't look at it as if it was alive.
You said you and I were always together, Joe, but that wasn't quite true. I left you to go into the dining room and mix a highball, remember?
Yes.
And I was carrying my big knitting bag. Remember that, too? And there was something else in it besides knitting. I'm an awfully good revolver shot, Joe. I told you we were all good except Paul. And the back windows of the dining room faced the same way as the back windows of the library.
Thank you, Isabel. Thank you.
Jerry was in the summer house. I made a sign to him from the window, and he came to the door there. In bright sunlight, 50 feet away.
True again, Isabel. True
Joe,
again.
don't you know what August heat is in a wooden summer house? Didn't anybody see that no man would be wearing a cap inside on a day like that? Jerry had taken his cap off before he went into the summer house. We saw him do it. He was bareheaded when he came to the door. So I lifted the revolver and shot him through the head. Then I dropped the gun back in my knitting bag and went back into the library with your drink.
Isabel.
Don't talk back to the thing
There
now.
was
You'll drive me
something else
screwy.
in my knitting bag, too. I had to use it. It was a duplicate of Jerry's army camp with a powder-burned hole already fired through it in the place I wanted.
Very clever of you, Isabel. So I've been the goat for 25 years.
I waited for some time and then slipped out to find the body. I fitted a new cap over Jerry's head in place where it ought to go. I put the old cap in my knitting bag. I took his revolver out of the holster and kept it. The gun that I used, I dropped on the floor beside him. So I proved it was suicide. You see?
You proved it to me.
Joe, listen, I'm very sick. They tell me I'm going to die.
You are dead.
Joe, I'm afraid. I'm going out in the dark, and I don't know what's there.
Don't go away, Isabel. Come
Joe.
on. Just for a minute.
Okay, I've had just about enough of this.
Joe, I want you to tell everybody about it. I want you to tell them how a poor, crazy woman couldn't stand that man any longer, and how...
It's cut off, and it's going to stay cut off.
Thank you. I've heard about enough, too. But you can't arrest her now, my friend. You can't arrest her now.
After hearing that, I'm not going to arrest anybody.
Tell me, Captain. Did you know what was on the record?
No. That's why I had to hear it. I knew about it, but I wasn't sure what it had to say. But so help me, I never guessed how hard it would hit you. Man, don't you get it even yet?
Yes, I get it.
Oh, no, you don't. You don't see anything. That was how the fake suicide was managed, yes. That's just how it was all done, bar one or two little things. Only
what?
Only it wasn't Isabel Kenyon who committed the murder.
Did I hear you correctly?
You did?
This is another one of your little jokes, I imagine. Can't you let me alone? Have you some kind of personal spite against me? What did I ever do?
You're going to hear the real truth now if I have to hold you down in that chair. I know Mrs. Kenyon didn't kill her husband because I've just come from talking to the real murderer up the river.
But they're all dead.
Oh, no, they're not. And I haven't got much time either. That clock's just going to strike 8.
What's the time got to do with it?
Good deal if you'll follow me. Mrs. Kenyon died less than a year after her husband, didn't she?
Yes.
But it wasn't Mrs. Kenyon's voice you just heard in that record.
What?
I'm telling you, the real murderer hated her. Hated her like poison and wanted her blamed for the crime. When Mrs. Kenyon died, the real murderer wrote a letter.
Well?
But she never mailed that letter. She made a lying record of Isabel Kenyon's voice as evidence. Now you figure it out for yourself. Who was pretty enough to take Major Kenyon's eye and strike back like fury when she got thrown over? Who wanted to go on the stage and do impersonations?
Kitty, the maid.
Ah, you're talking sense.
She shot Jerry from the dining room window.
When she couldn't borrow Mrs. Kenyon's knitting bag, she went out to the summer house with a gun and the fake cap wrapped in a napkin and a coffee tray.
She did go out, I remember.
Actually, she got there before Mrs. Kenyon did. But the summer house was dark inside, and Mrs. Kenyon never noticed her. The next day, Kitty wrote that letter, but she couldn't bring herself to send it. So she kept that letter till the day before yesterday. Then one of the boys at Sing Sing,
Wait a minute.
thinking he was doing her a kind action, put a stamp on it and mailed it.
Did you say Sing Sing?
Yes. They're electrocuting her tonight for the murder of an Italian down at Collier's Hook. I found out about the record all right. But the one thing I wasn't sure of was that she had done the job alone. Now, frankly, the way you acted, I thought that you might have been in on it, too. Well, that's why I had to hear it through. And it was anything but a joke. And now, here it goes to blazes forever. 8 o'clock. Now she's dead.
And so ends The Devil in the Summer House. Tonight's story of suspense. The part of Mr. Parker was played by Martin Gable. Again next Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Wartime. A story dedicated to the thrill of the nighttime, the hushed voice and the prowling step. Another adventure in suspense. William Spear, the producer, John Dietz, the director, and John Dixon Carr, the author, are collaborators on Suspense.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Thrill of the nighttime, the hushed voice and the prowling step, the stir of nerves of the ticking of the clock, the rescue that might be too late, the crime that is almost committed, mystery and intrigue and dangerous adventures. We invite you to enjoy stories that keep you in suspense. Can a man stake his life against $25,000? Can another and cleverer man track him down like a hunter, stalking his prey and kill him within 5 hours? Can you make a bet with death and win?
For Suspense, tonight we present Will You Make a Bet with Death by John Dixon Carr.
On a summer day. There's the beach, bright-colored with bathing suits. There's the boardwalk, all straw hats and summer dresses. There's the Ferris wheel and the roller coaster. There is all humanity eating hot dogs and having a good time. And over there, beyond that souvenir shop, is the haunted mill. You get into a little boat. You float through a narrow tunnel into the dark while witches scream. But that fools nobody, does it? There couldn't be any real terror, could there? While the bands are playing and the crowd goes by and...
Ladies and gentlemen, a unique attraction. It hurts me to see you stand there and miss this. Only 10 cents, 1 dime, the 10th part of $1 to go through the old haunted mill and get the thrill of your lives.
An overstatement if you ask me. 1 ticket, please.
Did you say 1 ticket, lady?
That's right, 1 ticket. What's the thrill?
Beg pardon, lady?
I said, what's the thrill?
Lady, the gals who come here with their boyfriends don't have to ask that. 10 cents, please, this way and mind the gate.
Thank you.
Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. Get your ticket for the old haunted mill, where ghosts will walk and corpses...
Give me some tickets. Hurry.
Just a minute, young fella. I know you want to get into the old haunted mill, but there's plenty of time. How many tickets?
I don't know. You better give me 10.
10 tickets. Do you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Here's a young fella who likes the old haunted mill so much, he buys 10 tickets.
Don't call everybody's attention. Listen, I've got a better idea. Whatever boat comes after mine, I'll give you an extra $1 to send that boat through empty.
What's the matter, son? The cops ain't after you, are they?
No. It's nothing like that. Will you do it?
Well, money talks, young fellow. Okay, go ahead.
Isn't there an empty boat here?
Well, really? You've got such a great objection to riding in the same boat with me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that at all. Don't misunderstand.
Then you better get in if you want to go. This boat's starting to move.
Yeah, I better sit down.
You certainly had.
Look here, I want to apologize.
That's quite unnecessary. This place is rather childish anyway, isn't it?
Yes, isn't it?
But I've seen everything else, so I may as well see this. Here we go in the dark.
What was that?
One of the ghosts, I imagine, from a machine.
It sounded like him laughing. There isn't anybody in the boat behind us, is there?
I can't see. It's pitch dark.
Listen, Miss...
My name is Andrews, Betty Andrews. If it's customary to exchange names in a place like this.
Mine's Pendrell. Bob Pendrell.
Did you say Pendrell?
Yes. Do you know it?
Oh, no, not exactly. It's an unusual name, that's all.
I don't want you to think I'm out of my mind, though I very nearly am. But I've got 5 hours to go. Just 5 hours. At the end of that time, either I'll have won $25,000 or else...
Or else?
Or else I'll be dead.
You know, I wish I'd kept you away from this boat.
Well, there's nothing to get alarmed about. For you. I can't tell you much, but I had to tell somebody that or I'd have started yelling. There's just one other thing.
Is there?
In these places, they've usually got little dim-lighted rooms along the way.
Yes,
exhibits
and things.
Yes. Well, when we come to one, I'm going to get out of this boat and hide there. Just don't get alarmed, and don't tell anybody when you go out.
Why should you do that?
I think I see a light ahead.
Well, there is a light, but...
Dim, too. That's all for the good. Yes. We're coming around the corner. Look, I'm going to have company when I get off. A waxed dead man on a pile of straw. Oh, I hope I can stand these noises. Goodbye, Betty Andrews. I wish we'd met at a different time.
Mind the boat!
Here, what are you doing?
Getting out, too?
Don't be an idiot. What's the idea?
You need looking after, Mr. Pendrell. And if we must hide, I suppose this is as good a place as any.
I won't have it.
Quick. There'll be more boats along. Over behind that dead man on the straw. He'll hide us. Hurry. Now, Mr. Pendrell, in the queerest place I ever get into, please tell me what this is all about.
I can't tell you.
You said it yourself. If you don't tell somebody, you'll go crazy.
Maybe you're right. It's against the strict terms of the bet. But this is the last day. And I tell you, I can't hold out any longer.
Lower your voice as the boat comes.
I wonder if you ever heard of my stepfather, John Destry.
Yes.
I imagine everybody has. He's a millionaire, and I'm not. I'm just a chemist, an analytical chemist. Not very successful. So if I'd had time, if I'd had money, I might have worked out a process that would have... Well, I think it would have helped in the war.
But he's got money.
Yes, he's got money. Well, my mother died years ago. This Destry's a big, white-haired, fine-looking fella. You'd think butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. He's got an apartment in the East 60s, secretary, I never met her, valet, cook, that kind of thing. Well, he used to invite me there. I wouldn't go. Then he got hold of a book I had to have, a German work on chemicals. So I went. After dinner in that study of his, over the brandy...
Oh, my dear Robert, you're quite welcome to the boat. Don't mention it. Oh, what do you think of this brandy, by the way?
It's excellent, thanks.
Yes, I thought you'd like it. And now that we're all relaxed, comfortable after dinner, tell me something.
Yes, Mr. Destry?
You hate me, don't you?
Frankly, I do. And always have.
Good. Then you'll be relieved to hear I've always felt the same about you. But tell me something else. Did you ever know me to break my word?
No, I never did. I'll give you that.
I asked you, Robert, because I want to make a little bet with you. That is, if you have the nerve, which I doubt.
Well, I'm afraid I can't afford to make bets.
You were always careless with money, Robert. Well, I've been thrifty. I saw that when your mother was alive. But you can afford to make this bet. Look here, in my desk.
Well?
$25,000, Robert. $25,000 in 5 $100 bills.
And what would I have to bet against that?
Your life.
What? My life?
There's the money in the drawer. Look at it. What wouldn't you give for that money? What wouldn't you give to have it for this precious work of yours that you're so fond of and that you've failed in miserably?
So far I've failed, yes.
Oh, I've had a fairly good life as lives go. My heart isn't as good as it might be, but the doctors say I'll last a little while yet. But before I go, there's one pleasure, one little exquisite thrill for me to experience. I want to commit a murder. Yes, I said a murder. My bet is that I can kill you within 6 months, and that you can't stop me, and that I'll never be punished for it. What do you say? Yes or no?
I believe you mean that.
Of course I mean it.
And just how would you propose to kill me?
That would be telling.
You know, if I had time to think this thing over...
There's no thinking it over. Now. Yes or no?
Yes.
You must need the money badly, Robert.
I do need it. But oddly enough, Mr. Destry, that isn't why I'm doing this.
No?
No. I want to show you can't play the Lord Almighty and get away with it.
Are you challenging me?
Yes.
You don't think I can do it?
I know you can't.
We mustn't get excited, Robert. There will be conditions to the bet, you understand?
What conditions?
First of all, you'll never mention this matter to anyone.
All right. That seems fair enough.
You'll remain within the city limits of New York for 6 months. You'll spend at least 1 hour of every day walking the open streets alone.
All right.
You'll spend at least 1 hour every evening in your own room alone. I may come to see you, or I may not.
Trying to scare me already, are you?
Finally, you'll write out a little note and give it to me. There's pen and paper on the desk in front of you. Write it now.
Let's hear what I have to write before I do anything like that.
You will write, I am a failure.
You can't stop harping on that, can you?
I am a failure, and this was the only way out. I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
A suicide note?
Yes. I intend to use it when I, operate.
And if I won't write it?
Then there's no bet.
All right, I'll do it.
It's now, let's see, 9 o'clock on the night of January the 10th. If you're alive and not in a madhouse...
Does that go into the bargain, too?
Yes. At 9 o'clock on the night of June 10th, given those conditions, you will receive $25,000. Can't you hear the dice rattle, Robert? You're playing with death now.
I know it.
Aren't you going to finish your brandy?
No, thank you.
Oh, then pour it back into the decanter. You heard me. Pour it back into the decanter. If you were as careful as I am, you wouldn't be where you are now. That's right. Always be thrifty. I can promise you, by the way, that you'll always be perfectly safe as long as you're in this apartment. But that's the only concession I make. I notice your hands are steady at the moment. I wonder what they'll be like a month from now.
So you were fool enough to make a bet with John Destry.
Listen, Betty, I want to tell you what else happened the same night. I got on a Fifth Avenue bus and started to look through that book that Destry gave me. It was a book that I wanted about poisons. Well, just as I opened it, I felt something sharp prick my fingers. I looked down, and my hands were covered with blood. He had sewn safety razor blades in a line down the inside edge of the cover.
Oh, no.
Yeah. A little white card fell out of the book, and I read it. It said, "See how easy it is to take you off guard? Those razor blades aren't poisoned, but they might have been. Take warning." Betty, that was 6 months ago. 6 months less 5 hours of careful, refined torture. And now, I've got only 5 hours to go.
What's he done in the meantime?
Nothing.
Nothing? I don't understand.
Nothing at all. That's the cleverness of it. He's left me waiting.
Expecting something.
Expecting it every hour of the day or night. Once at the laboratory where I work, I opened a box that I thought was from a chemical supply house. And a Mexican tarantula, one of those furry spiders about as big as your fist, ran out across my head. It was a toy tarantula. He enclosed a card asking whether I didn't admire it.
Bob, this can't go on.
I used to think I didn't have a nerve in my body. I could hold the test tube at arm's length absolutely steady for minutes at a time. Now look at me.
Don't, please, don't.
But the waiting's almost over now. Walking the streets, wondering who's behind you. Sitting alone at night, listening for every step on the stair. He's got very little time left now, and he's got to do something. The question is, what's he going to do?
Well, maybe he doesn't mean it. Maybe he's only doing it to scare you.
And lose all that money? Oh, you don't know my stepfather.
Listen.
Huh? I don't hear anything.
That's just it. There's no sound of running water. The boats have stopped.
Then we're all by ourselves in here. All with him.
Yes.
Oh, Lord, how I wish I hadn't gotten you into this.
Oh, I'm all right. Or at least I think I am.
I thought I saw him in the crowd outside, but I couldn't be sure. I'm seeing him everywhere.
Now, Bob, just a minute. Just tell me one more thing. Did you ever see Mr. Destry, face to face, after that first night?
Oh, many times.
He came to see you?
He came to my laboratory once, yes, but mostly I went to see him. And why? Because it was the only place in the world I could feel safe.
He's promised that nothing should happen to you while you were in his apartment.
Don't you see it was part of the torture? Night after night he'd invite me, and I'd go, right up until last night. Last night, we were in that study of his, with the devil masks on the walls, and he was sitting behind the big mahogany desk.
My dear Robert, I'm pleased and even touched to have you here on the last night before you...
Why don't you say die and get it over with?
Oh, well, let's not say die.
No?
The clergy contend that we never die. We only change. Now let that be a consolation for you. Must you be going so early?
There's that 1 hour at home rule to our bet, if you remember.
I remember. You're keeping to the rule.
Yes, and I mean to beat you at this if it's the last thing I ever do.
The last thing I ever do? That's an unfortunate choice of phrase, Robert. My boy, you haven't a chance. Something's going to happen to you within the next 24 hours when you least expect it.
Will you answer me one question?
If I choose.
Have you decided how you mean to kill me?
I decided that 6 months ago.
And you still think you can get away with it?
It's a method which has never been known to fail. I give you my word of honor on that.
Is it sudden?
Yes, and no. Wouldn't you like to know what it is?
Good night, Mr. Destry. I think I'd better be leaving.
No, my dear boy, you mustn't go yet. Sit down. Pour yourself a glass of brandy.
No, thanks.
Then perhaps you wouldn't mind pouring me a little. My doctor allows brandy, though I'm forbidden spirits. I notice your hands are shaking quite a good deal. They weren't like that 6 months ago, were they? No. You were full of confidence then.
Oh.
And it grieves me to see you waste tobacco by lighting a cigarette and putting it out immediately.
Well, it's no use lying to you. But I'm going to beat you just the same.
You wouldn't like to back out now?
After what I've been through?
You'd still have your life.
I'll keep it, thanks.
That's very unwise of you, Robert. Still, you must decide. Oh, I was expecting my secretary a little later to dictate some letters. But now, I think I'll leave her a message that I've gone to bed and turn in myself. Tomorrow is likely to prove an interesting day for both of us. Here's your hat, here's your briefcase, and let me wish you a fond, peaceful, and happy good night.
That was last night, Betty. I saw I had 5 hours to go.
It's less than 4 hours now.
If I can keep away from the old devil until 9 o'clock.
I wish those boats would start running again.
Why?
Because it's almost as spooky in here as a railroad mill.
I know.
Even that whack dummy on the straw. Any minute now.
You're expecting to see him move? So am I.
Now don't stand up.
It doesn't matter. If the boats aren't running, we can hear anybody who comes along.
I hope so.
Do you think Destry's got in?
Bobby can't have got in. He can't even be here.
Why not?
Because Mr. Destry told me.
Mr. Destry told you?
I'm his secretary.
You know, Betty Andrews, I'm sorry it was you who did this.
Did what?
You can't guess, can you?
Oh, Bob, I didn't come here to trap you or spy on you. If that's what you're thinking, I swear I didn't.
No. You only got me to tell you the whole story and lose my bet.
I haven't heard a single word you said. Bob, please believe that.
He didn't send you here, of course.
No.
And of course you never saw me at his apartment last night.
No, I swear I didn't. I got there late. He'd gone to bed. I didn't even take off my hat or gloves before I left again. Don't you understand, Bob? I hate him, too. I want to see you beat him. You've got to beat him.
You mean that?
Look at me and see if I mean it.
Betty, I almost believe you.
You must believe me. And
anything else?
we better hide behind that dead man, hurry. Those boats have started up again.
I wish I could tell you, Betty, what that means to me.
Come on, hurry.
Wait a minute, you two. Stay just where you are.
Where's that voice coming from?
Along the tunnel, I think.
But it's not Destry's voice.
There's a man standing up in a boat. He's coming around the corner. I can see him now. Hurry.
Old haunted mill, eh? My golly, if this ain't some place to make a pinch, I never heard of one.
What do you mean? Make a pinch?
Just what I said. Your name, Robert Penrell?
Yes. Who are you and what do you want?
Police headquarters. You're to come along with me. I want to see you over in New York.
About what?
I wouldn't know, lady, but it might be about the murder of John Destry.
Oh, no.
Did you say the murder of John Destry?
That's right. Somebody poisoned him last night with mercury cyanide. I wouldn't have got you at all, maybe, if the barker outside there hadn't thought the cops were after you to start with.
Betty.
Yes, Bob?
He's beaten me.
He hasn't beaten you.
Oh, yes, he has. And I know now the weapon Destry was going to use in killing me.
What weapon?
It never fails. The electric chair.
You mustn't talk like that.
Don't you see? He never once intended to kill me in the way I thought.
Are you coming quietly, Mr. Penrell?
Just a minute.
He's poisoned himself. But he's left evidence to show I did it. He's killing me the worst way possible. He's won the bet. The money doesn't matter now. If I'm in the death house for murder, what use have I got for all the money in the world?
Penrell, let me introduce myself. My name's Mullen, Inspector Mullen.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to be safe again.
I've had you brought here to my office for a little quiet talk. You're in a jam, son, and I want you to realize how bad it is.
You think I don't realize it?
John Destry was poisoned with mercury cyanide administered in a glass of brandy.
And only my fingerprints were on the glass besides his own. I can guess.
Mr. Destry's body was found this morning lying behind the desk in the study. There was an empty glass with traces of brandy and cyanide. We haven't had the full autopsy report, but the smell of that stuff is pretty distinctive. Tell me, you're a chemist, Mr. Penrell.
That's right.
The boys find that 8 grains of mercury cyanide are missing from your laboratory.
Where he visited me a month ago.
And in your briefcase, which you took away from his apartment last night...
He handed it to me. I remember.
We found over $1,000 in cash. Now, take a look at this note. Ever see it before?
Well, yes. I wrote it.
You admit that?
Yes.
It says, I was a failure, and this was the only way out. I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
Where did you find it?
Torn up in little bits. You started to write a confession, and then you couldn't face the consequences. But you shouldn't have left the pieces behind. You're intimate, my boy. Unless
what?
Now, if you'd like to confess here and now, and maybe we did a little deal about second-degree murder...
Inspector, why bother to string me along?
What do you mean, string you along?
There's no second-degree murder on a poison charge. It's the death house and nothing. He saw to that.
It's too bad you had to go and kill him, son. Didn't you know he had an aneurysm?
A what?
Fatal heart disease.
He said that he had heart trouble, but...
Heart trouble? His doctor says he couldn't have lived 8 or 10 months anyway. And you might have got something in the will.
So that's why he did it.
Did what?
Killed himself.
You still stick to that crazy story you told the boys?
He's going to kill me, isn't he? With 3,000 volts of electricity.
Inspector Mullen.
What are you doing here, Sergeant? Didn't I say I wasn't to be disturbed?
All the same, Inspector. I thought I'd better do it. There's a young lady here, Miss Betty Andrews. I think you'd better see her.
I'll see her when I'm good and ready.
And I think you'd better see her, Inspector. We've just heard from Mr. Destry's lawyer.
Well?
He said that young fellow there, Mr. Pendrell, inherits $25,000 in Mr. Destry's new will.
Did you hear that, son? Do you see what you'd have gotten if you hadn't gone and killed him?
He was keeping his promise, that's all. A fine lot of good it'll do me now.
But look, Inspector, I've just talked to the medical examiner, and he says there's no poison in Mr. Destry's body.
Say that again?
There's no poison in the old man's body.
Somebody's kidding you. An empty glass with the smell of mercury cyanide and a dead man with a congested face behind the mask? What did kill him then?
Well, you'd like to listen to Miss Andrews, Inspector. She's right here now.
I think you'd better listen, Inspector. I've been trying to tell you all afternoon.
Go ahead, Miss Andrews.
I've been over and over it. But until I got the medical report, nobody would listen.
Can you tell us what killed John Destry?
Yes. Poison killed him.
But the sergeant's just been saying there was no poison in the body.
Inspector, will you listen? I was at Mr. Destry's apartment late last night.
Well, so what? You didn't kill him, did you?
The servant said he'd gone to bed. So I looked into the study to see if there were any instructions.
Was Mr. Destry dead then?
I don't know. I couldn't see his body because it was hidden behind the desk. I didn't even learn he was dead until late this afternoon. But I did see a full glass of brandy.
A full glass, did you say?
Yes. So I picked up the glass and poured the brandy back into the decanter. That's what he always made us do. And I didn't leave any fingerprints because I was still wearing my gloves. And that was the same glass you later found empty.
But you still are not telling us what was the poison that killed John Destry.
It was the poison in his own system. He worked out this plot to convict Bob Pendrell. Only just as he stretched out his hand to drink the cyanide...
Inspector, I think I see it. It was his last great hour. He couldn't resist such gloating as he'd never known before.
That's it. His heart wouldn't stand it, and he fell dead behind the desk. And I think, if you study the expression on his face, you'll find he died laughing.
And so ends Will You Make a Bet with Death? Tonight's story of Suspense. The part of Bob Pendrell was played by Michael Fitzmaurice. Betty was played by Leslie Woods. John Destry was played by Nicholas Joy. And in supporting roles were Ted DeCorsia and Charles Slattery. Again next Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Wartime. A story dedicated to the thrill of the nighttime, the hushed voice, and the prowling step. Another adventure in suspense. William Spear, the producer, Mark Slobe, the director in the absence of John Dietz, and John Dixon Carr, the author, are collaborators on Suspense.
This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Suspense.
For Suspense, tonight we present Menace in Wax by John Dixon Carr.
During the French Revolution of 1793, a Swiss girl copied in wax the severed heads of those who had just been guillotined. She married a Frenchman named Tussaud and came to London, and she founded Madame Tussaud's Waxworks. There it is, still in Marylebone Road, near Baker Street Station. Not the original building. That was destroyed by fire. But it remained untouched when a darker shadow than revolution came to England. And they plastered high explosives all along that road and hit the cinema next door. We are going to London under the bomber's moon. Late one night in March of 1941, a young man hurried up to the great glass doors of Madame Tussaud.
Hey, open up there. Isn't there a night watchman around this place?
There is, Governor, and I'm in. Now, what do you want at this hour of the night?
My name is Rogers. I'm from the Daily Record.
Oh.
If you let me get inside, I'll show you my press card. Didn't you get any orders about me?
Well, maybe I have at that. Oh, you're the bloke who wants to see the Chamber of Horrors.
That's right.
All right, you may as well come in.
My paper got a tip there's something funny going on around here.
Something funny going on here? That's a good one. The raid's not very heavy tonight, is it?
No, they're going over.
You ain't heard where, Governor?
We got a teletype flash that there was the Midlands.
Lord lummy, and I've got a sister in Birmingham. Oh, why can't she come and stop in a nice, safe place like London? There's the Regent's Park guns opening up again. Makes your teeth rattle and shakes the hats off the dummies' heads. You know, this Chamber of Horrors is getting to be popular tonight.
You mean there's been somebody here before me?
Yes.
A woman?
That's right, Governor.
About 5 feet 2 inches tall, very pretty. If you like 'em brunette and big-eyed and a phony French accent.
No, Governor, no. This was only an old lady that lost her handbag.
Oh, thank the Lord for that anyway. Now then, what is going on around here?
Well, I don't know, Governor. You'll have to ask Pearson about that.
Who's Pearson?
Oh, he's the bloke that's the watchman down there. He's old and he imagines things. He phoned your Piper. Have you got an electric torch?
Yes.
Then go straight on through the marble hall and down the stairs on your left. And don't speak to the policeman, 'cause he's wax. Yes, that's the way, Governor. That's the way to the Chamber of Horrors.
Thank you. Pearson. Hello, Pearson. Pearson.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
You're looking for me.
Oh, I didn't see you there. I must have thought you were one of these wax dummies.
Ugly dim light, isn't it?
Yes. Rogers is my name. I'm from the Daily Record.
Oh, yes. I'm glad you came over. I phoned your paper myself. Maybe I'm just imagining things, but...
Oh, I don't blame you. This place would make anybody nervous, especially during an air raid.
Well, sir, it's all right as long as you don't get to imagine they're watching you.
Oh, and do you?
Oh, yes. Sometimes. That's the gambling group in the center there.
Uh-huh. What's that thing over there?
That's the famous guillotine.
Oh, wait a minute, old boy. You're not trying to tell me that's the original guillotine.
No, that was burnt in the fire. Madame Tussaud bought it from Sanson, the executioner. Let me tell you something, Mr. Rogers.
What?
Years ago, this is straight, a young French woman came in here. There was nobody else in the place. She thought it'd be great fun to say she'd put her neck in the same guillotine as Marie Antoinette. So she climbed up on that platform. She snapped the little wooden collar down round her neck, shutting herself in. All of a sudden, she realized she didn't know which spring controlled the collar and which spring controlled the knife.
Oh, good Lord, she didn't...
No. But they say she went crazy. They say she screamed and screamed.
What's that?
mean to scare you, but sweet Mama, I'm so scared myself I cannot help it.
Susie.
Oh, no, not Susie. Susie? You make it so it rhyme with floozy. That is not nice.
Why, you little devil. I ought to turn you across my knee. What are you doing here? And will you forget that French accent? You're driving me crazy.
You know this young lady, sir?
Do I? She works for my paper. She's haunting me.
Oh, Bert, that's not nice. I like the way I talk. I only try to give you ideas.
Just what I mean. Now take your arms from around my neck.
She's French, sir.
Her mother came from New York, like I did. She's got some funny ideas, accents, and disguises.
So I dress up as an old lady, and I come along, too. That is clever, no?
Definitely no.
But I go into what I think is the ladies' room, and there is Jack the Ripper. I'm so scared I almost kick the ghost.
Whatever else you do, miss, for the love of heaven, put out that cigarette.
It is not permitted?
It is what they are most afraid of in this place. Fire. If you vouch for this young lady, Mr. Rogers...
I don't vouch for anybody. But go on now. What's all the mystery here at Madame Tussaud's?
You see the group over there? It's called the Gamblers.
That 3 men and a woman in 18th century costume sitting around a table playing cards?
Yes. And about once a week, when the lights are out...
Yes?
Those dummies do play cards.
Is this a publicity trick of some kind?
Oh, no, sir.
Then what's the game?
I'm not crazy. I know they don't actually do it, sir. What I want to know is who changes the cards round in their hands and why.
Well, could anybody? Anybody from the outside, I mean, get in to change the cards?
Oh, yes. There's a back door. But why would anyone want to break in here just to change those cards around?
Mon cher Bert, écoutez. Listen. I have made a discovery.
Listen, if you're going to talk, speak English. Or better yet, just keep still.
But I have made a discovery. This card game.
What about it?
It is crooked. Here is a man which has 2 deuces of hearts in the same hand.
Listen, Susie, I don't give a... Wait a minute. Let's have a look at those cards.
I give you ideas, yes?
Susie, for once you're right. And look here. 2 of these players have all the clubs and hearts. The other 2 have all the diamonds and spades. Susie, how many letters in the alphabet?
26, no?
And twice 26 is...
52.
The number of cards in a pack. Give me a pencil, Susie, quick.
The War Office, Whitehall. MI5, headquarters of military intelligence. There next morning in the map room used as an office by Colonel Warrender.
Mr. Rogers, I am a busy man.
I appreciate that, Colonel Warrender.
Anyhow, sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Now, what's all this? These cards you claim form a code, is that it?
Yes, sir. Now, look, sir. Let each letter of the alphabet represent a card in clubs and hearts. That's 26.
And then?
And then when you get to the middle of the message, switch the alphabet over to diamonds and spades. Then you won't keep on repeating. Now, will you read what I've got written on this piece of paper?
Jack of diamonds, Q. 3 of clubs, F. Well, that doesn't seem to mean much.
Well, never mind the cards, Colonel. Just read the letters.
Q, F, A, C, T, O, R, Y.
Yes, sir. Q Factory. Go on.
Just a moment. What is that infernal noise? Johnson Burroughs.
Don't bother with that, sir. Just read the message, please.
Oh. Q Factory. 10 p.m., 15th.
Today's the 15th of March, Colonel.
Oh, all preparations made. Use dive bombers. I see. This message was left openly.
So openly that nobody ever noticed it.
Yes, the trick's been tried before.
No contacts, no gatherings, no letters that might be intercepted. A whole spy ring could walk through that wax museum and read the message without being seen.
You newspaper men trying to teach me my job?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I only...
No, go on.
Well, don't you see? 3 or 4 little boats with portable wireless sets go down the Thames estuary. When they're beyond pursuit, they send that message by radio. Somebody listens. And it's no secret in Fleet Street, sir, that Q Factory is out in the wilds of Gloucestershire.
There's no secret anywhere.
And that we're making the Shaftesbury bomber out there. So tonight, unless we do something about it, they're coming over and bomb Q Factory to blazes.
That's impossible.
Why? Or can't you tell me?
I can tell you this much.
Yes, sir?
Q Factory is so well hidden that even our own pilots can't find it from the air. That's one objection to this message.
Any other objection?
Yes, this talk about dive bombers. Dive bombers in a night attack? What's the good of a dive bomber if he can't see its objective?
Well, suppose somebody showed a light.
He'd be shot dead as soon as he showed it. Every inch of country for a quarter of a mile round the factory. A quarter of a mile, Mr. Rogers, is patrolled day and night.
Well, just the same, they're going to have a try at it, sir.
How?
I don't know how.
Then, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Rogers...
Listen, Colonel Wander, will you give me a pass to go down there to the factory?
Certainly not. No one's permitted to go there except the workers.
How is the place defended?
There's a night fighter station nearby, and several batteries of 4 3.7 guns.
Then give me a pass to the fighter station or to the gun post. That's a legitimate newspaper request.
Well, I might manage a pass to one of the gun posts here.
Then you'll do it?
Well, what on earth is that infernal row? It sounds like somebody locked up in a coat cupboard.
Yes, as a matter of fact, Colonel, it is somebody locked up in a coat cupboard. A young lady, so-called.
A young lady? Who locked her up?
I did.
And just what the devil do you mean, sir, locking up people in coat cupboards in the War Office?
Well, she's a bit excitable, Colonel. I thought that she'd better not see you.
Well, thanks for the consideration.
There's just one other favor I'd like to ask.
As well?
If she asks you for a pass, don't give it to her. Don't give it to her under any circumstances.
What's her name?
Susie Dubois.
You're rather too late for that, young man. The Public Relations Office granted her a pass 2 hours ago.
What? Oh. A woman to an anti-aircraft battery?
This is what we call a mixed battery. Women on the guns as well as men. She said it would make a good human interest story for the press. I must say, I agree with her. One moment, Mr. Rogers, before you go.
Yes, sir.
That gun post is fully 2 miles from the factory. You can go there, but if you take one step further, you'll be shot on sight by our guards. I warn you.
I'll be careful, Colonel. I'll be careful.
Somewhere in the West Country, a yellow moon shines over bare trees. A white mist, moving, clings to the ground.
Susie, are you sure we're on the right road?
Mon cher, they have taken away all the signposts in case there is an invasion.
I know that.
But I follow the map. The map cannot be wrong.
We've been driving for hours. Must be... Yes, it is. Nearly 9:30. Half an hour to go. Trees, and still more trees.
Look. There's a break in the trees ahead. It will be open country in a minute.
Yeah. That's funny. Look how deep the leaves are here on the road.
But one thing I tell you, just between you and me and the bedpost...
Gatepost, Susie. The term is between you and me and the gatepost. And speak English.
I am speaking English very well, thank you. I do not need your help to be pure.
All right.
Now, this map.
Well, what about it?
It say we should go through a lot of villages. Mitford, Archidine, and Saffron-Weville. I have not seen any villages.
Did you say Mitford?
Oui, monsieur.
Susie, let me have a look at that map. Come on, hand it over.
But what is wrong? It is a perfectly good map.
Yes, Susie. It's a fine map. It's an excellent map. Only it's a map of the wrong county.
I have made a mistake? No?
I don't even believe you can read. This is a map of Barsetshire. We should be somewhere in Glebeshire. Now, where in the devil are we?
We're at the entrance to some kind of clearing with leaves on
Hello
it. What was that?
Somebody calling us. And if we're in forbidden area...
I see him now.
Where?
He's behind us. He came out of a white cottage back there. He's a big, heavy man. With a mustache.
Never mind the mustache. He's wearing some kind of a uniform and he's got a rifle.
You think he'd plug us? No?
I think it is not unlikely. Get out those War Office passes of ours. Wait.
Good evening, my friends.
Good evening.
Can you tell me...
No, we don't mean any harm.
Can you tell me what time it is?
Oh, what time it is?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's, 28 and a half minutes past 9.
Thank you. I will keep you covered while I set my watch. There. My next question is, would you like me to shoot you both?
No.
Listen, Mr.
McAllister.
Captain McAllister.
That's right.
Well, Captain, This girl, she's been reading the wrong map. You see, we don't even know where we are.
You're in Hollywood Forest, my friend.
Hollywood Forest?
Is that good or bad?
And you don't know what's just beyond the edge of this clearing?
No.
There's a big open space of 1/4 mile. In the middle of that open space...
Q Factory. We're right on top of it.
Then you have heard of Q Factory, my friend.
Captain McAllister, we're from the War Office, and we've got passes to prove it.
Let's see the passes.
We were trying to find gun site number... I've forgotten the number, but it's here on that card.
You've passed the gun site. 2 miles back up the road. All right. Here are your passes.
What are you going to do to us?
I'm not in the regular army. You can thank your stars I'm not. I'm forestry preservation.
Oh. You are not going to chuck us in the cooler, even?
No. Now turn that car around, get back along this road as fast as you can. If they fire at you, as they probably will...
Oh, I wish I am home. Pray no more, I wish I am home.
Well, then hope for the best. My watch had stopped, and you did me a good turn. Well, hurry along. Hurry.
Site of heavy ack-ack battery. 4 3.7 guns against a moon growing clear white. White as the concrete emplacements. Sealed against light where the crews, men and women, sitting, waiting.
Well, sir, glad to have you both here. But this idea of yours about dive bombers attacking a blacked-out factory in the middle of a forest is rather fantastic, don't you think?
Well, I admit it doesn't make much sense, Captain Bronson, but I have a hunch that I'm right.
Well, glad you and Miss Susie drove out. Don't see many strangers. Frightfully boring. Nice country, of course, good air and everything, but dull. Dull as ditch water.
What's that?
Only some of the lads and lasses inside. Like to walk along the emplacement here?
Oh, is that allowed?
Oh, certainly, old boy. Why not? Bright moon tonight, isn't it?
Yes, bomber's moon.
We nearly get shot on our way here.
Quiet, Susie. We're not supposed to have been there.
If I nearly get shot, I am going to say I nearly get shot. It was a man which is called, McAllister.
Oh, old Mac. Very decent sort, Mac. He's a tree doctor.
A what?
Tree doctor. Got to have wood, you know. But trees start to die. Mac goes round the edge of the clearing and smears them with stuff to keep them well. How did you come to meet him?
Well, the fact is, we nearly got as far as the factory tonight.
Oh, then you were lucky to get back alive.
There weren't any barrage balloons over the factory, I noticed.
Hardly, old boy. They wouldn't advertise, would they? With balloons in open country?
And if the Germans did use dive bombers?
Oh, they're not coming, old boy. Just make up your mind to that.
I wonder if you'll say so at 10 o'clock.
But it is 10 o'clock. It's just 10 now.
Well, it can't be. We drove here like blazes. It was only 9:30 then.
Well, then your watch must be very slow, old boy. No, I'm afraid you're wrong. I've never seen it quieter. Cold tonight. Very dry for March. Look all around you. Moonlight. Open country. Not a sign of life in it. Quiet. Peaceful. And silent as the great...
What was that?
By George, I think we've got some visitors. I think we're going to see some fun.
Enemy planes approaching south-southwest. Action stations. Enemy planes approaching south-southwest.
Now do you believe me?
Better stand back, old boy. Operation Crew's coming on.
I said, now do you believe me?
I want you to watch these girls work. They do everything, you know, except actually fire the guns. Now, keep your hair on, old boy.
Susie, he still can't see it.
Oh, they'll only be going over.
You think so?
Oh, yes. We sometimes get a crack at them when they're making for Bristol.
Standing by for action.
Standing by.
Listen. I have heard that noise 1,000 times, but every time I hear it, I get sick.
Well, they're flying ruddy low, you know.
Just what I was thinking.
Spotter! Any identification?
Junker, 88.
Dive bombers.
Height,
5,200.
Now, look here, you two newspaper people.
Yes, sir?
There might be things popping, you know, can't tell. Like to get below?
No, thanks.
I don't like this, Bert, but I'll stay too.
Rangefinder, on target.
Look here, you two. Those War Office passes you gave me, I'm not supposed to keep them. No, I'd better give them back, just in case.
Predictor, on target.
Here we go, ladies and gents.
Fire. Stand by. Predictor on target. Fire. Stand by. Predictor on target.
Headquarters message, sir.
Fire.
Yes, Corporal?
Hold fire. Night fighters taking off.
Hold fire. Night fighters taking off.
Hold fire. Message understood.
What is the matter with them?
With who?
Those Boche planes. They're still a good way off, but they don't come any closer.
Must be going over after all.
They're circling. I think they're waiting for a signal.
Anyhow, here are your War Office passes. You seem to have got them all smeared with oil.
Oil?
That is all right, Monsieur. When we get them back from Captain McAllister, they have oil on them. I think maybe he dropped them on the lead, because there's oil on the tires of the car, too. Then I think how always in this we meet things that burn. At Madame Tussauds last night, they would not let me smoke a cigarette in case of fire.
Fire. That's it, fire.
What's the matter with you, old boy?
Why did that fella, way out at the end of nowhere, want to know what time it was?
Are you scatty?
McAllister, you told me so yourself. He goes around the edges of the clearing and smears the trees with stuff to keep them well.
Oh, what about it?
Suppose it was crude oil. Suppose between each tree he laid an invisible fuse of dead leaves soaked in oil.
I don't understand.
In 30 seconds, a complete square of fire runs around the limits of the factory grounds. That draws the bombers in. Then as the flames blaze higher, they've got enough light to dive on their target.
There. Our night fighters are letting loose.
Brunson, I see it all now. Come on. We've got to get to that tree, Dr. McAllister. It's a matter of minutes. Susie, is Brunson following in the car behind us?
Yes, he's following the men with rifles.
We've got to get to McAllister's cottage.
This McAllister...
I'll bet you 10 to 1 the real McAllister's either dead or tied up in that cottage. The fellow we saw was an imposter. Look out, Susie. Keep your head down.
Oh, those fighters. They will chew up every younker in the place. They have not got the chance of a snowshoe in heaven.
No, Susie, not a snowshoe in heaven. You mean...
I know you are English at a time like this. What I cannot understand...
Look out!
I don't see why he hasn't set his signal off. What is delaying him? Why don't he strike a match when the bombers come over?
Because he's a good Nazi.
A good Nazi?
My watch was slow, don't you remember? And I gave him the wrong time. He had orders to strike his match at 10 o'clock, and he'll not do it until 10 o'clock if there are 500 planes instead of 20.
Bert, I see him.
Where?
Far up the road. He's running.
Yeah, that's him. Think we can reach him before he gets to the clearing?
Not the chance of a snowshoe in heaven.
Signal Brunson to pass us. A long shot with a rifle might...
Bert, one of the Junkers is hit.
Huh?
He's right over us.
That's not all. He's unloading his bombs. That whole stick's coming straight down our direction. Keep your head down. Are you all right?
I don't feel hurt.
Now, this is a dirt road. The bomb sank too deeply before it exploded. We didn't catch the blast. Come on, Susie. McAllister was just ahead of us. Come on, let's get out. We can't drive any farther. This road is full of bomb craters. Wait a minute, Susie. There's McAllister.
He is dead.
Yes, Susie. Killed by a Nazi bomb.
Look, on the ground. What are those two white cards?
Oh. They're all smeared with oil. Must have fallen out of McAllister's pocket just before he got hit. Let's see. What do you know?
What are the cards, Bert?
2 tickets for Madame Tussaud's Waxworks. I'm afraid our friend's never going to get to use them.
Not the chance of a snowshoe in heaven.
And so ends Menace in Wax. Tonight's story of Suspense. Columbia presents these stories of mystery and intrigue and dangerous adventure for your relaxation and enjoyment. Next Tuesday, there'll be another in this series. Same hour. 9:30 Eastern Wartime. William Spear, the producer. John Dietz, the director. Bernard Herrmann, the composer-conductor. John Dixon Carr, the author. Our collaborators on Suspense.
Here is a message of vital importance to every person who drives an automobile in America. There is wide misunderstanding about gasoline and rubber, and the government wants the following facts brought to everyone's attention. Actually, there is no scarcity of gasoline except in some parts of the East. But nowhere in the country is there enough rubber for military and civilian use. Starting 2 weeks from today, December 1st, mileage rationing goes into effect. This means that no car owner anywhere in the United States will be able to buy gasoline without a mileage rationing book. The purpose is to conserve the rubber we have by eliminating all unnecessary driving. When we think of the tremendous distances our mechanized army is traveling in North Africa and the long road to victory that still lies ahead, this extra effort on our part is slight indeed. Remember, everybody is going to have mileage rationing, so why not be prepared? The best way each of us can save rubber is by sharing our car with others. Let one car do the work for 2 or 3. So why not arrange with the neighbors tonight and start sharing the car tomorrow? It's the one real, important contribution that every automobile driver can make. Don't be a lone rider. Share your car and do your share for victory. This is the Columbia Broadcasting